Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. But first, if you are watching this on the replay, I do want to let you know that we put timestamps down into the video description for you, so you can hop to whatever part of the stream that you would like, so that you can get the answers to the questions that you care about the most. But if you want to learn a bunch about YouTube and you want to have some fun while you're also learning about YouTube by participating in some of our antics, then in that particular case, you might want to just sit back and enjoy the stream. But when I say we, what I mean is myself and my brother from the same mother, D. D, what is going on?
I will be the one bringing the antics today.
You will. You definitely will be the one bringing the antics. It wouldn't be a regular stream if you didn't.
That's right. Hope you had a great week. Hope you brought some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any questions in the form yet?
Yep.
And do we have any YouTube news this week?
We do. Nothing really worth talking about too much. So basically, they're rolling out the auto dubbing to a little bit more content creators. They have some grouped gifting stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
What is group gifting
that I can think of? Basically, you can send groups of gifts while people are live streaming vertically.
Okay.
Yeah, so this only applies to like vertical live streamers.
What do you mean groups of gifts? Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
You mean like people can like get together and say, hey,
no. Like I can just buy a pack essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gift pack.
Yeah, essentially.
And do you gift
that would
them
have
all?
been a great way to frame it. Yeah.
And do you give them all
I'm not sure
at
if they all
once?
go at once. I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words,
that information wasn't disclosed.
In other words, YouTube did a fantastic job of explaining this.
Yep. Or I just did a bad job of paying attention to
one
when
or
they
the
did.
other.
Yeah.
One or the other. 50-50
So
on
anyway,
that
Catherine Jung, what is going on? Hope you're doing great. Doug Houston, YT, nice to see you in here. Amy Johnson Crow, nice to see you. Hope that you are doing fantastic. Chantel Hills, what's going on? David Matney, nice to see you here as well. Ron's Trains and Things, what's going on, dude? Hope the full-time life is treating you well. And let's see here. What else do we have here? Shark Scrapper, hope that you are doing great also. David Matney, we got Home Rapid Repair. Everybody in the house, hope everybody's doing awesome. Eric Wait, what's going on, dude? Yep, you had a great week. I know, for me, just keeping on with this stuff. How about you, D? Anything, did you get into anything interesting this week?
Yeah, I came across a new way for me to make tutorials.
Oh, okay.
Which I was talking
let's talk about
earlier.
that. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So really quick, before he gets into that, let's talk about a bunch of other things so we don't have to listen to it. No, I'm just kidding. So if you make tutorials, just say me in the chat, because what D is getting ready to share with you is just a great, efficient way to make tutorials. So if you do make tutorials, you're going to want to tune into this particular part for sure. Show.
American English with Brent says, flying home from Mexico today, but in the back of my mind, I'm worried about getting stuck here like D was.
Hey, it happens to people.
What an experience that was. Wow, what a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of those things where you might be making tutorials this way, and it's so stupidly simple that if you're not, you're going to wish you did. I've been making tutorials now for 7 years on my channel. Mm-hmm. And I always...
Hey, congratulations on your 7-year anniversary that passed at the beginning of the month also.
Thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I always struggle when I make tutorials. I make the tutorials and I get into it and I just start fumbling and I start losing track, and then I end up with this 30-minute video that I have to like whittle down and figure out where the good parts are and the bad parts are, and it's always been really time consuming, and I've dreaded making them. And I was watching a video from Justin Brown, Primal Video, and at the bottom of his videos, he has a time ticker, a status bar, if you will, and along that status bar, he has the different sections. Like, this is your timeline, this is text, this is audio, this is clipping. Mm-hmm. So okay, if I want to learn how to add audio, I go to the audio thing. Now, that's not how I watch my video, but I thought to myself, why don't I record my video that way? Instead of sitting down and just trying to muscle through a tutorial in a way that I would use the app, why don't I make a form? Why don't I make a template, write it down, and say, okay, well, this is your project. Here are the steps to get into the project. Mm-hmm. Here is your audio. Here's the steps to get into audio. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do this. And only record them in chunks. I'm only going to record a 2-minute section talking about when you open the app, here's how you create a project, here's the things you need to do, and then stop recording. So then what I'm left with is each section was its own clip. So when I put them all into the timeline, it was so much easier to work with, and it was so much easier to actually record it because I wasn't having to think 10 steps ahead while I was making the tutorial. All I have to focus on, I just need to get through how to make a project. That's it. Then the next thing, all I have to do is explain the timeline in this clip.
Yeah.
All I have to do is explain how to add audio in this clip. Man, that made recording a tutorial 1,000 times easier for me.
Nice.
Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm not going to say anything.
If you're struggling with making tutorials, making a template and recording those in clips was an absolute game changer for me. So that's what I did this week.
Nice.
And my efficiency, I powered through multiple tutorials making it that way. And the funny thing is when I'm doing spoken word video, that's how I record. I have my bullet points, and each bullet point's a clip. Okay, how am I gonna say this? How am I gonna frame it? I hit record, I say what I'm gonna say, hit stop, that's a clip. Why I haven't been doing that for tutorials for 7 years.
Well, hey, for the next 7, you're covered, though.
Your brother.
For the next 7, you are good to go.
Yeah.
So Alex Goodman in the house. What's going on, dude? Watching from Facebook. What's going on, dude? Hope that you are doing great.
Yep.
Yeah, he says, he popped in here as well over on YouTube. Says, it's like 8 years ago watching from Cali. Now I'm watching from Thailand. Yeah, crazy, crazy turn of events.
Crazy how that happens,
yeah,
right?
iFund Chris, thanks for the super chat, dude. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Stanley Orchard in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you are doing great as well. Scale Train Station, what is up? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get into the questions today. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can find the link in the video description. If you're watching on one of the other platforms, you can also find the link in the video description in some of them. If you can't find the link that is in the description, just go to nickniman.com/ask, and it will forward you directly to that form that you need to go to. And we are answering them in the order that they are received. So if you do have a question, make sure that you do get it into the form.
Monique Joyner says, I'm worried about getting stuck in the U.S.
Yeah, right. I think about that when I go there. I'm like, man, is there anything that I've done that they could possibly keep me for, right?
Make sure your papers are in order.
Right.
There.
Right.
Unless you have a U.S. passport.
Always roll with IDs and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Funny story, and I don't want to get too deep into this.
Hey, this is great.
But for those of you...
why answer YouTube questions, right? Just go ahead, Dean.
No, we're just going to derail this whole thing and get into American politics. No, it has always been this way. I have traveled extensively around the world many times, and there's no country in the world that is more difficult and more a pain in the butt to get into as an American citizen as the United States. And they've backed off the past few times.
Yeah. It's been pretty smooth the last few times.
It's been pretty smooth the past few times. But up until just 2 years ago or so, 3 years ago, it was such they would just give me such a hard time coming in. Why have you been?
I remember one time we went over there. You got detained for like 2 hours.
They detained me for 2 hours. They searched my computer. They went through all of my hard drives.
Yep.
They looked through everything I had.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yep.
Just in case what?
Yep. Yeah, Alex says obviously D's never been to North Korea. Yeah. Go ahead and mark that off the list.
I guarantee you, once you got the visa to get into North Korea, it would be easier.
They'd probably be nicer on the way in.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Like going home.
Sure.
Going home is more difficult than going anywhere else in the world.
Sure.
And that includes like Cuba, China, Vietnam, Laos, all the communist countries. Crazy.
Yep.
But anyway, whatever.
Yep, Beanie, what's up? So the very first question that we have today, to pull us back here and get us on track, we've got Stronger Minds Nation is the name of the channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more, and the type of channel is inspiring people to help with their mental health. And the question is, I constantly search on YouTube about improving my channel. Does this hurt the algorithm of my channel since my searches don't match what my channel is about? No. YouTube has made it very clear that the activity that you do on your YouTube channel doesn't impact your main, doesn't impact your video performance. So, of course, if you do something bad on your main channel, you can get your account deleted. So you have that thing that you have to deal with. But when it comes to the actions that you're taking, the videos that you're watching, the comments that you're leaving, things like that, as long as you are compliant with community guidelines, you're not doing anything to actually get the channel deleted, then in that case, it doesn't have any impact whatsoever on your actual video performance. Yeah, a lot of people ask that. And I know that I see people talking about that on like TikTok and things like that too. Like, hey, make sure you're watching videos in your niche and all that stuff. And there's this like rumor going around about like warming up your channel for YouTube by going and watching other channels that make content like yours and stuff like that. It's crazy. I don't know where this stuff starts. Next
I don't know, but when it comes to TikTok, I think there might be some truth to that with TikTok.
Why is that?
Just my experiences when I was regularly uploading. It just seems like if on the account that I was uploading certain things for, the more I steered away in terms of viewership, it seems like the more my audience went astray as well. And
so you were watching the same type of content that you publish?
No. The more I watch that type of content, the better my videos hit.
Oh, interesting.
And the more I steered away and watched other stuff, the more they met. It could have just been,
coincidence.
Just be a coincidence.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people with large TikTok accounts say the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, if you're gonna create a second TikTok account and like browse on that one. I don't know if that's true. Could have been a coincidence, but
it's been a while too.
Yeah.
So
it has been a while.
Been, 5 years probably.
It's been a while. Yeah.
So Explore Norway is the next channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is travel advice. The goal of the channel is to teach others.
They know how to get into North Korea.
Right.
Guaranteed.
And the question is, not a question, but an experience. Last Sunday, I finally released the flagship video for 2025, and it worked exactly as expected. Steady number of viewers, great viewing time, 8 minutes of 27, and excellent RPM. Nice. I also got 3 channel members while I was a member only, and a super thanks for it. Using a lot of advice from your channel, I carefully plan and research to identify the topic. Well, let's see here. Many we're looking for. Systematically filmed the region for 2 weeks and pieced it all together in a compelling way. Video includes footage shot between 2012 and 2024. Only drawback, I found a bug in YouTube that made the auto dubbing partially fail. It's been reported and they're still investigating it. So I just want to thank you, ND, for all the good advice. Yeah, our pleasure. Glad that, one, that it's going well for you. Glad that you're putting in the effort. That's where, like, that part right there is the part that is the most important, right? Is I appreciate you, the kind words, but, you're the one that's actually taking the information, you're running with it, you're, applying the information to your videos, like you're doing the thing. So, high five yourself for that. But I appreciate your, the kind words.
Yep.
And I don't know about D, but I do. So
nope, I appreciate them too. Kind words are always awesome to hear.
So next up, we got Frozen Refrigerated. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been making videos for 1 year or more. They do transportation content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I just wanted to say that I've been uploading regularly since my channel has blown up majorly from the last time that I listened to your live feed. Thank you very much for all you do. I'm waiting for my AdSense PIN number to get that started and start having ads running on my videos. So congratulations to you for getting into the YouTube Partner Program. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so congratulations, high five and fist bump for that. We actually have a thing that we accidentally discovered before we went live today, and I'm just going to go ahead and this is a good, appropriate place to put it here, D. I'm just going to run the high five and fist bumps across the bottom of the screen.
You don't remember making that?
I don't remember making that. Yeah, it just kind of showed up in here. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, maybe I did, but I just don't remember making it. But, yeah, high five and fist bumps to you for getting into the partner program.
High five, fist bump.
Yeah, the hardest part is now behind you.
That's like a gang jumping of high fives and fist bumps.
It is, yeah. It's like
you're getting whooped.
That's like a whole,
you're getting bruised.
Your hands are probably going to be bruised and broken by the time you're done with all those high fives and fist bumps. You'll probably be exhausted from going like this, right? Yeah, just exhausted.
Somebody's getting a whooping though. Look at that.
I think so. So next up, and by the way, if you are just joining us, we're talking about all things YouTube. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing on YouTube, regardless of the platform that you're watching on, you can just go to nickniman.com/ask, and that will send you to the form where I'm pulling these questions from. And if you're a content creator, this is the place. So there's no weird questions. There's no stupid questions, anything like that. So feel free to ask any questions that you have about anything you're struggling with, anything that you're trying to figure out. So next up, we have Home Rapid Repair. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. He does home repair content, if you couldn't tell, from the name. And his goal is to teach others. And the question is, hey, it's been a big week for me with some first new brand contract signed, and another brand reached out to negotiate them running paid views on a video where I installed their product. YouTube had me approve this link to the video, and now the brand has access. What exactly does the brand have access to? It's a really good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I'm not sure what level of access they give. I would guess that it would be something around view counts. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but my guess would be that they'll have your view count and demographic information because that's what's important to brands. Possibly impressions, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure. D, I don't know if you're looking that up right now because I hear you typing over there.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know what they have access to.
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
What's the actual specific again?
Yeah, so the specific is
it's not just like a manager.
No, it's through Brand Connect.
Brand Connect. Okay.
Yeah.
Brand Connect access. Yeah, I'm looking that up. See if I can find anything. I'll chime in.
Thank you. So next up, we got Trying to Learn Bikes. Trying to Learn Bikes uploads 1 time per week or more. They do motorcycle maintenance content. The goal is to teach others. And the question is, of the 5 community post options, image polls, images, text polls, quiz, and videos, could you rate these options in order from most effective to least effective for channel viewer engagement? Thank you in advance for your always clear and concise advice. So polls and images, regardless if it's an image poll, a text poll, those typically do better. When it comes to videos, those can do well, but you don't see it on the actual community post itself. When videos do well, you actually see it reflected in the video itself because they're not engaging with the post. They're actually clicking through the video itself. So that's where you actually find that. But when it comes to the things that are the most effective, yeah, polls are absolutely fantastic, but images can be really good too. So depending on what it is that you're sharing, if you're sharing fun things from your personal life, then those can, sometimes do really well. Depending on your audience, if you're sharing behind the scenes things and you have it to where, hey, we're making this big video and you're just kind of sharing some of the stuff that you're doing along the way, people can really get into that too. And in some cases, they can be looking forward to that next post that you make. So images are really good for that. And sometimes images can crush in terms of the engagement, but polls you can count on those, a lot too.
Okay, I don't know how accurate this is. This is an AI overview from Google. This is AI overview from Google, and AI can be wrong. So this is what they say.
Yep.
Here's a detailed look at what brands gain access to. And the things here says campaign management. Brands can create and manage their own branded content campaigns, setting briefs, deadlines, and other requirements for creators.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, then it goes on and says data and analytics. Brand Connects provides access to various performance metrics, including video views, likes, comments, shares, click-through rates, and conversion tracking. So that. It talks about audience insights. The platform offers insights into the audience demographics and interest of the creators' channels, helping brands evaluate if they're reaching their target audience. Okay. Those are the main two things that I see here.
There we go.
Just allowing the brand to see your analytics to the point to make sure that they're reaching the right audience, basically.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for looking that up.
Yeah.
Hey, Nostalgia.
That's a great question.
If you have a question,
I didn't know the answer to it. Yeah.
Yeah, Nostalgia, if you have a question, go to nickniman.com/ask, and it's going to redirect you to the forum where we're pulling the questions from. Roger Wakefield in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. Says, good morning, brothers Niman. Great to see Nick in San Diego. Welcome back, D. How is Dan?
Dan's fantastic.
Love it. Yeah, it was great to see you as well, Roger. Always great to see you.
We still have the Wakefield sitting here on the desk. This is a permanent
staple.
This is a permanent fixture here. On the Niman Live desk.
Even if we end up remaking the whole set,
we will have
it still in there.
The Wakefield still has a place.
Tommy Stiggs Social Club, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Says, I want to thank you guys. Took your advice to stay on my own instead of going in studio with a podcast company. It's been great, and I'm lining up guests with my own YouTube and StreamYard, and the growth has been amazing. Thank you. That's awesome. High five and fist bump to you.
Yeah, that's great.
For that. Yeah, love that feedback. And it's also cool, in that particular situation, because now you get to do whatever you want. Right, yeah. You don't have to, be like, hey, do you think we should do this or do this? You can just, do whatever you want. So that's pretty cool. So congratulations to you for that. Yeah, love it. So Nostalgia, again, make sure you put your question in the form that is in the description below. So next up, did we do trying to learn bikes yet? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. So in terms of a ranking, so I'm not going to give that a ranking because the image and text polls, they can, be similar. The images, it depends on the image that you're sharing, right? There's just a lot of variables there to actually specifically rank those. But out of the items, the polls and the images are fantastic. Next up, we've got the Million In Project. What's going on, dude? Goal is to make money. And the question is, why does a video get few views at first and then a lot the next minute and then nothing at all? It certainly doesn't speak well to the genius of the algorithm. So they're probably just testing it against different groups of people during that time, and certain groups of people are responding well to it and other groups of people aren't responding as well to it. So it's probably just, that in terms of just different people responding to it in different ways. Next up, we've got no channel question for a friend. So that friend, I guess, has been on YouTube for less than 1 month. They're getting ready to start their channel, actually. And the question is for a friend of mine who has a real estate channel. David Matney, you might enjoy this one.
Yep, here we go.
She started the channel last month. In every video, she includes her personal cell number as text on the screen. I think this is dangerous, but she sees no problem with it. If anyone wanted to find her phone number, they could do so easily with a Google search. Also, she says using a personal cell phone number, she is using a personal cell phone for business, putting it on all of her promotional material is common practice for real estate agents. Am I wrong in thinking this is going to lead to serious trouble as her channel grows? That's a
good question.
Yeah, it could, but she is right in terms of real estate agents do publicly put their stuff all over the place. So, if she gets a billboard, she'll probably have her phone number on there. If she, runs ads anywhere in her local area, she'll probably have phone numbers on there. If she does any type of like sponsoring events, things like that in her area, she'll probably have phone numbers there. That's just part of the thing when it comes to being a real estate agent, is you have to make yourself kind of accessible in that way. So because of that, what she's doing, she'll probably eventually, like if her channel does well, then people from all over the place are going to be contacting her, but that might not necessarily be a bad thing. Right. So she might need to set up a filter of some kind to where she hires somebody to kind of answer those calls. And then she ends up getting her own, a separate personal number or something like that if she starts having a lot of fans reach out. But if she starts having a lot of potential business reach out, then in that case, it's going to be a win, for her to do that, because then some people don't like to send emails, right? If they can just call somebody, like let's say like an older demographic, they might just want to call instead of sending an email. If they're younger, then they probably want to send an email. But if they're older, they might just feel more comfortable being able to just hop on the phone and talk to somebody. So because of that, she might be able to generate business from all over the country and potentially all over the world if her channel does well. So there is risk for sure, because trolls will see that, and then they can call her and harass her and things like that. And because the internet is what it is, then they'll be able to do that. But she probably has that same number listed on her website that's publicly accessible. You can probably Google her and find that number. So so I don't think she's taking it too far by also putting it on YouTube, especially if she's using it as a way to drive business. And the reason that I say that is because at any time she can say, okay, well, this is now the phone that we're going to use for just business, and then I'm just going to get a personal line and just update my my real life contacts on that personal line. So yeah, because that I don't think it's that bad. And David Matney here, because he does real estate also, he says that I would say her personal address would be a problem. Yeah, there, to where if it wasn't a work address, yeah, I totally agree with that, because then somebody could just show up, right, that didn't have any intentions on, ever purchasing a house or selling a house or anything like that. So you do have those types of risks. But, when it comes to just the phone number itself, though, I think she's fine. For now. Next up on our list, and really quick, just in case you are just joining the stream, I do want to let you know that if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing on YouTube, we have a form down in the description where you can put your questions right now. And if you get it down there right now, it will get answered on the stream. We don't have a lot of questions today. So if you do have a question, go ahead and put it into the form that is down in the description, or just go to nickniman.com/ask, and we'll get it answered for you today. So next up, we got Richard C. Campbell is the name of the channel. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. The type of channel is educational. They teach teachers how to use AI. That's good. I think, hey D, wasn't it like the person at the head of the Department of Education? They didn't even know what AI was. They kept saying A1. Did you hear about that? Yeah, absolutely crazy. But anyway, that's the world we're living in. But they said that they just started and they're trying to find their voice. And the question is, how can I tell if my video idea is strong enough before I film? That's a really good question. So the way that you verify video ideas is, one, you hop into YouTube search and you start typing in things around the idea that you want to make the video about. So let's say, for example, because you are doing educational content or even AI content, you could, actually, I'll just look here with you while we're talking about it. You could put in things like AI for teachers, right? If you type that into YouTube search, right out of the gate, YouTube is going to auto-complete the list there, and it's going to give you things that people are searching for. So in this particular case here, actually, I'm going to share my screen here for you so that you can actually see how all of this works, and you can see how to use this appropriately. So give me 1 second. We will do the Chrome tab, and we will put it here. Okay. So when it comes to this particular thing, or this particular feature, on YouTube, what we're talking about is right up here at the very top of the screen. So you can see here I put AI and I started typing teachers, and then it shows me here AI for Teachers 2025, AI for Teachers 2024, AI for teaching teachers lessons plans, AI for teaching and learning for English, blah, blah. So what you do is you go through and you do this, and then you go and you click on all these, and then you look to see the results of those particular videos, and then you see if anybody has had any interest in them. Now, keep in mind, what you are doing is you are targeting a very subset of people in terms of they need to be a teacher for this to matter to them, but they need to also be a teacher that is interested in AI in some way. So I'm going to guess it's probably a decent amount of people, but keep in mind that this could be something that you could be able to get in early on, right? To where you start doing this and you can start offering services to teachers and stuff like that, to where, you know, you might be able to be on the front of this instead of, you know, directly using this as a comparison for what other people are doing. But the idea is that you would click on each one of these and you would see the results that come up for it, and then you would get a general idea of the videos. So like here, I'm just going to do AI for Teachers, and we're going to see what happens. So here, 18,000 views on this one from 4 months ago. This one over here, AI Teachers Run the School. This one looks like more of a skit. Yeah, it is. Top tools for teachers, AI tools, 31,000 views. That was a year ago. Free AI tools for teachers, 1.5 thousand views. This one here, 24,000 views. So just on AI tools for teachers alone, this is definitely something that people are interested in. 10 best AI tools for teachers. So what I would do is I would also go and I would look at all of these channels, right? Every channel that pops up here, I would go and look at the channel and I would say, okay, are they consistently doing this, or is this a one-off video? Like, what's going on there? But as part of this, if we have the AI for Teachers up here again, then you can see now I have AI for Teacher, right? I modified the text just a little bit. I took the S off, and now it's giving me some different information. So there's some crossover, but I'm also getting a lot of different information here. So then I can start to say, okay, these are other things that people are looking for, or teachers are looking for. And then from there, you can also do things like this. So you can do like AI for Teachers A, right? Do a space and then A up there at the top. And then now it's going to start showing you things that people are looking for around that. And then we do B, and then it's going to show you some things people are looking for there. C, AI teaching coding, AI teaching calculus. Yeah, so we're getting a little bit off. Yeah, AI teacher China. So that definitely wouldn't be it. But basically, you just keep going through the alphabet here. And then once you do that, then you're going to come up with a bunch of different video ideas that, again, you can click and research. But then from there, you can also change how you're doing this. So you could do something like AI for classrooms. Okay. So here we've got AI for classrooms. We got AI for class 8. I'm not sure what any of those are, but like we're just going to keep exploring this classroom idea. And then I'm going to do AI classroom activities, and not so much there. But anyway, you take the same approach, and anything you can possibly think of that you're going to be making a video about, you just come up here and you look around to see if this is, you know, something that people seem to be interested in. If those videos that pop up have a, you know, a amount of views on them to where you're like, yeah, okay, that's good. Then in that particular case, you know, it might be something that you want to make a video about. Now, keep in mind when it comes to YouTube, especially since you are just getting started, it's something crazy. Like, I think it's like 87. I mentioned this in one of the presentations that I did at Social Media Marketing World, but it's something like 80. I want to say it's 87%. It might be higher, but it's 87% of the videos on YouTube don't have more than 100 views on them, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. So in that scenario, if you're getting, you know, more than, or it might be 1,000 views, and then it's like 60-something% has more, has less than 100. So if you think about it through that lens, any video that has over like 1,000 views on it, you know, it might be a good video to make, especially on something like that, because all of this is something that I'm sure, you know, it's going to continue to grow as more and more teachers, either by their own will, are going to go in and start looking for that information, or as they're going to be required to start looking for that information as things start shifting more in that direction. English Woodsman says, hey, brother from the same mother, did you forget to share the question link? I can't find it. Yeah, it's down in the video description, but if you just go, it should be actually near the top of the video description. I put it up there today. So you might be going down looking for it, but I actually moved it up to where it's right up there. So you should be able to identify it by a little heart that is right next to the thing, or just go to nickniman.com/ask and it'll just redirect you to the form, and then you can do it that way. Yeah, Nostalgia, make sure that you do put your question down in the form. Yeah, so that's a great place to start. And another thing I'm going to share with you as well, and this is a really helpful site for anybody here that makes content that people are, basically, when you try to make content about things that people are already interested in, this is a great place to do that same exact sort of thing. Now, this place has paid accounts, but you can also, there we go. But you also get 3 free searches a month on this, and it's a really cool tool. I built one of these myself, and it actually does better sorting and stuff like that. I built one of these myself that everybody that has an iPhone anyway will have access to. Hold on, US, oops. That everybody will have access to here shortly that has an iPhone. But basically what this does is, let's say I did AI for teachers. It's probably going to be a bad search because there's probably not going to be tons, but there might be. So what this does is, and the website, by the way, is called Answer the Public. And what this does, see, they're trying to get me to sign in and stuff here. But basically, as I scroll down the page, it has all of these different questions. So which AI is best for teachers, right? There's another thing you can talk about because people are looking for that. Here, what is AI training for teachers? What is AI tools for teachers? You'd think a teacher would have better grammar. What is generative AI for teachers? Anyway, you can see the idea to where it lists these things out. You can sort these by propositions, by comparisons, alphabetical, numbers, and related. And then as we scroll down, here we go, we see the actual list. So then that way you don't have to sit there and go like this the whole time and stand on your head to actually read what it says. Right here, you can see here, AI for teachers and students, AI for teachers Australia, AI for teachers open textbook. And you can go through this entire list also, and you can look for things related to your content. So this is really good for if you are making content about anything that you're like, okay, these are things that, like, I'm going to make content about things that I know people are interested in. That's where you use tools like this. Now, if you're going to make a video and you're like, hey, I just want to be the first person to make this video, or I want to make this video and it's a little bit outside of this and not a lot of people are offering it, or there's a lot of videos on YouTube about it, but people aren't necessarily searching for it, but the people that are making videos about it on YouTube, like, they're doing okay, you know, that's fine too. But what I'm saying here is this is great if you do make any type of content that solves problems and, you know, things like that. It's just a great way to find that kind of information. But again, that's called Answer the Public. And yeah, Roger says right here, Roger says he says it used to be one of his favorite secret hacks. Yeah, it's a really, really good tool for that kind of stuff when you're making that type of content. Neil, what's going on, dude? Nice to see you in here. From sunny Spain. Love it. Enjoy that. So next up on our list here, okay, we got Richard taken care of. So next up, we've got Winning with Wiggy. I hope I'm saying that right. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do tutorials and review content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, last year, I was fairly consistent, had a great year, and was on my way to 1,000 subscribers. Didn't get there. However, I've recently had a bit of a break, and I haven't made a video in 4+ months. I tried today, getting back into it, 7 hours, and the end result was sadly an unpublishable video and a terrible idea. I'm heavily considering taking my channel in a slightly different direction, same general niche, but straying from reviews and focusing more on tutorials. Could I be looking into a tough rebuild after a 4-month break? Finally, with looking at going in a new direction, are there any tools that I can use to scope out competition and ideas to determine if there are any low competition, high interest direction that I could go in. Yeah. So what I was just showing you, the thing that I just showed, Richard, I believe is his name. The thing that I just showed him with looking into YouTube search, looking at all the search results, things like that, that can give you a really good idea. And that can also help you find channels that make content like yours. And then as part of that process, you go and you look at those channels. There's also tools. So for example, you have 1 in 10 in view stats that show you outlier stats that basically just show you videos that have broken out in different niches and things like that. You have Creative Fuel .ai, which does something similar to where it shows you that. You can also just take ideas that other people have done well with in other niches and kind of apply it to yours with Creative Fuel, which is really cool. TubeSpanner has something coming out for that. So there's a lot of great tools that can help you with that as well. But just the easy, quick way to do it without relying on that and without having to pay anything is to use the things that I was just showing you. And then that way it'll get the job done for you, especially if you're just getting started out. You don't want to be, if you don't want to be spending money on, some of those types of things, then just doing it the manual way to type in the search, the things that people would be looking for around your type of content, and then going and exploring those channels that pop up. And another thing too, so just as a heads up, I want to share this with you also. So when it comes to taking breaks on YouTube, all you need is like one video and you're going to be back on track, right? Like, yeah, taking breaks can definitely impact your channel. And over time, if you don't publish videos, you can just see it just kind of going like this. But when you do start publishing videos again, just a couple good videos can bring the whole thing back to life, especially if you just stay aggressive and stay consistent once those happen. Then in that case, it's, you can bring a channel back to life relatively easily. So for example, like D, I think D took off like a year on his channel, and he published a video, and then it was a search targeted video. But that one video, after being on YouTube not publishing anything for a year, I think he might have close to like 800,000 views on that particular video right now. So because of that, and I think one that followed that might have had like 200,000 or 300,000 views on it. So all you got to do is just make a good video, and then it can get you right back on track. So don't worry about it too much. And don't focus on the break and what's happened already. Don't worry about that because it's already happened. Instead, be like, okay, so this is where I'm at. I took the break. I need to get back on the train. So because of that, what do I need to do to put out the best video that I can for the people that I'm trying to reach in this slightly modified direction that I'm trying to go in? And with that, how can I just make the best possible content for them? And then how can I also work this process back into my lifestyle? This is something I'm working on right now too. But how can I work this process back into my lifestyle to where I can be more aggressive when it comes to the content that I'm publishing, so I can publish more, on a regular basis. So work on that side too, because if you took that 4-month break, you took that break for a reason. Something happened. Either you lost interest or you got focused on something else and you just kind of fell out of the habit of making content. So if you want to get back on the horse, you have to build that habit. You have to build that habit back up again. So next up, we've got, this is good. So Neil says, we won't take a break because our competition doesn't. Love that. Get it. Get it. Yes. Love it. And Ron says, back on the train. You know how it is. You know how it is. That train life, right? So next up, we've got iFund Chris. What's going on, Chris? Uploads or has been on YouTube for a year more, does entertainment content. The question is, has anyone used BlueSky for a YouTube channel? I moved from Twitter to BlueSky now. So yeah, there's a lot of YouTubers over there. I have an account over on BlueSky. I don't use it that often. And this kind of goes back to that habit thing, right? So I don't use Threads hardly ever. I don't use BlueSky hardly ever, even though I have accounts on both. But I do hop into X. The only reason that happens is because I'm just used to being like, hey, let's go check and see what happened, what's going on X when I want that type of platform, right? Like I prefer BlueSky, if I'm honest. But when it comes to X, I just go there through more of like a muscle memory. So the only way to break that is if I literally take the app off of my phone, right? So yeah. Hey, 100%. I agree with this, Ian. I do agree with this. He says taking a break is sometimes useful because you can look at things from the outside and refresh your thoughts. But coming back stronger and better is the key. Yeah, and that coming back stronger and better part's the hard part, right? You know how it is. Like, for people that ever started that plan where you're like, hey, I'm going to start going to the gym, and then you go to the gym, you're like, hey, this is great. I'm feeling good. My body's starting to, benefit from this. My mind's starting to benefit from this. Like, this is great. And then like next thing you know, it's been a month since you've been to the gym. And then next thing you know, it's been 6 months. And next thing you know, you haven't been to the gym in years, right? So for those of you that can feel that, it's kind of the same, right? To where you got to be careful, because if you're not doing this full time and you take breaks, then, life will just be like, hey, here's a bunch of other stuff you can pay attention to instead. And then, can kind of pull you away without you even really realizing that it's happening. You use YouTube and Instagram. The rest are doom scroll of distraction. Yeah, man, I just started publishing. So I'm publishing daily content on a hidden YouTube or TikTok channel right now, which actually I should just share with you guys so you can go over there for that. But I have a TikTok account with like 55 followers on it. I just started publishing daily content over there. I'm not publishing to the one that I had originally over there because it was made in Thailand, and that means that I can't get into the creator fund. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, then let's have a US version. So I had to change the name and stuff. But yeah, I definitely need to share that maybe here in the future. But yeah, I have daily content going out there. I have the next, I think until May 14th, I believe it is, I have daily content going out into the Facebook page. That also will start on Instagram soon. I'm just kind of, getting it all, kind of queued up, so to speak. But yeah, I'm coming into all that stuff as well. Tube Spanner in the house. What's going on? Hope that you are great. Tube Spanner says, I've been going back next week for 5 years. Amen.
That's how it works.
Amen. That's how it goes, right? Let's see here. Took a break at the gym in 2019. Yeah, that's how it goes.
I heard you talking about BlueSky when I was in the other room.
Yep.
There was like an exodus, and a lot of people went over there.
Yeah.
I think 2 different waves. It seems like a lot of accounts are just really struggling there to gain traction. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing.
Some
or
have
just,
rocked. Like some
of them are rocking
over there. Yeah.
I don't know if those are organic or not. I have no idea. But yeah,
sure
some of them are rocking.
Yeah.
But it just seems most accounts are really struggling. But I don't know. I put it in, secured my name. I don't upload over there. It's just it comes to like, especially if you have a new account, I think you have to come down to, do I really want to put in the effort to build an account here? Right. Do I want to put in the work? Because there's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to build something meaningful. Yeah. And do I want to build something meaningful on this app? Yeah. Secure your name so somebody else doesn't take it. But then I think it's a decision you have to make. Do you want to put in the extra work? Hey, Mooney.
Yeah, hopefully Tube Spanner will make some automation for that, to where if you make a post on Twitter, it'll automatically make it on BlueSky. That would be smart, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I just can't stand Twitter anymore.
So let's see here. So and on Threads, right?
Yeah,
so
Threads,
basically that type of platform, you make it on one and then it just puts it on all of them. That'd be super smart.
Right. So it's like,
so if you don't do it, Danielle, like somebody needs to build that.
So
tool.
it's like Twitter, Threads, BlueSky. What else is there? I think
for that type of thing, I think that's all. There's also one called Sky Social, I think it is. That runs off of BlueSky though, but it's the same. Okay. It's a different brand though.
Yeah, that'd be convenient.
Yeah, Tube Spanner said it's done already. Yeah, so I think with that though, I think with hers you have to check all the boxes and then it'll distribute it all. The thing that I'm talking about is to where I can natively go into Twitter and then I can make a post over there and then it'll be like, oh hey, Nick just made a new post. Let's pull it out and let's put it on BlueSky and let's put it over on Threads. Or that would be cool too.
Yeah, or you just have an app and you open that app and that post just goes out.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Right, or a plugin, I guess.
Yeah,
or a browser extension.
She's got that already. She said because I know she got access to the BlueSky API, so she already has it where you can make a post and you can send it out to X and to BlueSky. I'm not sure if Threads is in there or not, but yeah, that's coming out on the 9th. So, so next up, we've got Cozy Counselor. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube, they have been making videos for less than a month. So, hey, welcome to the creator side of YouTube. Different world over here, right?
Yeah.
So they do gaming and counseling content. The goal is to teach others. And the question is, I'm struggling with finding a direction with my channel. I want it to be an entertaining gaming channel while I also do some counseling tips, etc. I've never seen those two themes combined. Should I still pursue it, or are those completely different areas of content? So it depends on how you do it. So some people do combine things. Like, for example, I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but a reference I like to give for this is there's a channel called The Schooled Zone. So back when I started another channel that I have, back when I started that, I did a collaboration with him, and it was a long time ago. But at that time, he was actually mixing gaming and education. So what he would do is at that time, Fallout 4 had just come out. and or just one of the Fallouts. It just came out. And what he did is he would make a video about Fallout, and then he would talk about things like, the blast range and, like how far those types of things go. He would talk about, like specifically what sandbags did and what they were made up of, and like, all these really cool, interesting, like educational things along the way. So like while you're playing the game, he would be talking about all these different objects in the game or these different scenarios and all that. And then he would be applying like science and education to those things to inform his viewers along the road as he was going. So the whole thing is basically trying it, right? Because, some people might enjoy the gaming with counseling stuff. Other people might be like, hey, I just want to come in and watch some games, but there are channels for that. But if you don't know anybody that's doing the counseling, it might be worth trying, because you might, be onto something there that, people need and want. But if it's not currently available, then, somebody's got to do it to see if people like it. So you might be the person, for that particular job. So I recommend that you just experiment with it, and then you'll find out, relatively quickly. Keep in mind, because you said that you are just starting the channel, you've been doing this for less than a month. Keep in mind, YouTube comes with a very steep learning curve. So when you first start doing this and you first start making that content, you might think, oh, well, people just aren't responding to this, game/counselor tips type of thing. But it could also just be that you just haven't learned how to make good videos yet. And that's okay. We all, start there. Sometimes we're still there. So, because of that, just make sure that while you are in that experiment, that you are embracing that side of the learning curve and thinking that, hey, maybe it's not that you're talking about counseling in the videos. Maybe it's because you're just having trouble clicking on the video, getting people to click on the videos, right? Like those types of things. Just embrace the learning curve, though, because it's pretty steep here. So because of that, just make sure that you are being mindful of that as you're pursuing that experiment.
Yeah, some super chats. Six Shop number 1.
Six Shop, thank you for the super chat. Says, what do you do when a video seems like it's taking off? Do you mess with the thumbs, or do you just let it ride? I have a follow-up at some point. Ideas. Yeah, let it ride and think about what you can make next if you don't already have, something on the schedule. Think of one, what you can make what you can make next that will serve that audience. That would be just a laser targeted fit for them. Two, you also want to make sure that you're analyzing that video and that you're trying to think about not just, a lot of people clicked on this video, but why do I think people clicked on this video? Was the thumbnail crystal clear? Is the topic just something of a higher interest right now? Like what exactly did I say in the title? Like those types of things. And then same exact thing with the video content, going in there and looking at your audience retention reports and seeing how people responded to everything and starting to think like, okay, why do I think they responded well to this part? And, you kind of rinse and repeat that through the video. And then taking all of that information and then trying to apply it, to the next video to see if you've uncovered anything.
Got another super chat, $100 super chat.
Synthetic oil protection. Hey, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing awesome. Nice to see you in here. Thanks for the super chat. Says, we love you, Nick. Thanks for all the advice over the years. My pleasure. Glad that you're enjoying the content. Yeah, it's been a while, man. I think the last time I saw you was at Vid Summit. I think when it was at the Sheraton, I think. So right before it went to Dallas, I believe. So yeah, nice to see you, man. I hope you're doing great. Thanks for the super chat.
I get to pay rent this month.
Yeah, right. Yeah, give that over to D. No. Yeah, so you can pay. So D can eat.
Yeah. I'm kidding. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, bring him out, let him eat a little bit, kick him back into his closet.
Right.
Yeah, get back in there.
Get back in there.
Get back in there.
Who let you out of here?
Right.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know, he kind of picks me up and like brings me in here and then takes me back and drops me off to my handler.
Yep.
I'm not allowed out much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you got to keep forks out of his hands, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's hear. So next up, we've got, let's see here, number 12. We got Cosmetic Restoration Channel.
That's so mean.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Cosmetic Restoration Channel. Been on making videos for less than a year. Hold on. They do registration content. I was just playing along. That's all.
How do we go from me having a handler to me having to I can't have sharp objects?
Well, I thought that's kind of what you were saying.
Totally different.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Totally different conversation.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Sorry. I was trying to play along. Yeah. Sorry. The goal of the channel is to make money. The question is, hey guys, would love to hear what's a realistic conversion rate when working with sponsors like Raycon. I'm not sure who they are. Both best case and worst case, if you don't mind sharing. So yeah, so it really depends. Like there's so many things that go into conversion rate. So it might not be anything that you're doing. It could be what they are doing, right? So there's some things that I promote like as an affiliate to where they have a really high conversion. Some things I'll send a lot of traffic to over time and they just won't convert at all. So it really just depends on, on what it is that you're doing and how you're presenting the thing. That can make a huge difference in terms of the amount of people that you get to the thing that you're trying to bring attention to. And then once they get there, is that thing able to convert them or not? Yes, there's just a lot of variables there.
Sterling Wheel comes in with Super Chat and a interesting question.
Thanks to Super Chat. It says, why does YouTube ignore my reports of bullying? I report and that person comes back in all the time. I'm tired of my friends and I get doxxed. Okay, so here's what you want to do.
YouTube sucks when it comes to some of this stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I'll say it.
Yeah, they're really good about some stuff, really bad about some other stuff.
Yeah.
So a couple things. So first, if you
sorry to hear you're going through that, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that sucks. So
are you going to show something on your screen? You're pulling it up.
Give me 1 second.
You're going to show them how to hide viewers?
Yep.
Yep. What he's going to show you, if you don't do it already, is how to hide users from your channel.
Yeah.
What this is going to do, they don't get a notification. They don't know they've been hidden. So they're leaving comments on your channel. Nobody's seeing them except for themselves. They don't know.
Right.
They don't know. You may be doing this already. It could be that they keep coming back under new accounts. But you might want to also show them where the censored words are so you can block out. So we went over this last week a little bit, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready, and we'll pull you up.
Okay, so the very first thing here is that
I'm going to make this full screen so people can follow.
Yeah, so the very first thing is if you come down here to your comment section, when somebody comes in and they are
abusive
they're just saying things that you just, they're bullying you. The very first thing you can do is over here on the right-hand side, and the same exact thing works on a mobile device as well. So if you're on a phone, the same exact thing is going to happen. So you click on this little 3-dot menu over here, and then you come down here, and you see this hide user from channel. Click on that, and then they're done. So with that, anytime they go into your comment section, they can still watch your videos. They can do all those things. But anytime they go into your comment section, they can say whatever you want. And just like Monique mentioned here, they're going to be screaming into the void because nobody's going to see their comment. They are going to see it, so it's going to look to them like they still left their comment, but nobody else is going to see it. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do here.
Yep, I'll put you on
there
screen.
We go.
Full screen. Yep,
so the next thing that we're going to do.
Am I showing your screen now?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I hide users from my channel all the time. If you want to come in and be rude, disruptive, insulting to other people, call other people, like, you're gone. Like, that's not the vibe I want to have in my.
You know what? Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you got to be careful showing the words so you don't end up getting into trouble yourself.
Okay, so
yeah, doxing is tough. Doug says it makes. Make sure you don't have any identifiable information on your channel. Put phone numbers, parts of addresses, etc. in your blocked words list. Yeah, I have a video on my channel where I show you how to use your blocked words list. And we talked about this last week. Put your name in there. Put your address in there. Put variable spellings of your name and address. Put your phone number, parts of your phone number. Put every possible thing that people are writing into your comments. Put it in your blocked words list. And then that's not going to go public. And then you ask, how can I block a troll with multiple accounts? You have to keep blocking the account.
Yeah, you got to keep blocking the accounts. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is.
Yeah, that's where YouTube is really bad with this. There should be okay, for example, us as creators, if we get 3 copyright strikes within a 90-day period, they'll terminate our channel.
Right.
But they'll let users, and we're not supposed to create new channels. Right. You're like, that's supposed to be it. Yeah. But they'll let users just abuse people over and over and over and over again and keep coming back on new channels. It's a broken system. So we have to work with the tools we have. Yeah.
So with this, now keep in mind there are a couple of words in here, but people, they say the stuff on TV, so I think it's okay. But basically, what you want to do is down here. Down here in the bottom left of your screen, you're going to see settings, right? So if you click on settings here, it's going to pop this box up. Once they pop this box up, you're going to see community moderation. If you click on that and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see this option to block links. You want to make sure that that's checked. But then you can add any word in here that is messing up your comments in any way, or anything that people say or anything like that you just don't want to show up in your comment section. So in this case, I've got 1 comment, I've got 1 like, 1 sub, things like that, because people think they're clever. people think they're clever and they're trying and they're like, hey, one comment for a comment, things like that. So I had to put those in there. Adult dating sites trying to span my channel. People talking about how the algorithm sucks. I'm just tired of seeing it because the algorithm doesn't suck. The content does. Anyone who subscribes, basically people are like, hey, anybody that subscribes, blah, 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 I'll subscribe back. So I've got that in there. Yeah, boobs with a EWBS is somebody's way to get around the other word. Got Biden in here, and I've got the other one too because I just don't want people talking about that stuff on my channel because that's not what we're all here for.
Views down because of Joe Biden,
right?
So I'm not getting views.
I've got like Bitcoin because of the Bitcoin scammers. I've got Chat Me Up. I've got Check Out My Channel. I've got Civil War.
You got
here.
everything in there.
Yeah, like tons of stuff. And the whole idea with this is that when people say these particular words, then YouTube will automatically hide them from public view. Now, what's cool is let's go ahead and discard these changes.
Put everything in there. Okay, this is a funny thing. So you can copy those out. You can put them into a sheet and you can share those. I have people ask me all the time because I used to do streams and we would talk about this. And people say, well, can you share your list? My list that I've blocked has such horrific words in it that I'm embarrassed to share the list. Like seriously, like I don't want people to
I'm the same way.
I don't even want people to say, how did you even put that? Like what it's because somebody wrote it. At some point somebody put that in there or I saw it in somebody else's comments. And so like, why would you even think about that word to put it in there? Yeah. You weirdo.
Right. But the whole idea is that you can add that in there and then it keeps your comments clean. And with that, it's great for if you're getting bullied or harassed in any way. And you can report those people to YouTube. They'll take action in some cases. In other cases, they might not. Yeah. But just make sure that you do continue to bring it to their attention if they do report you, and make sure that you do it on the actual comment. Make sure you do it from their channel also and report their channel for harassment. So in order to do that, you would click on their channel name, go to their actual channel, and then you can report the entire channel for harassment. So make sure that you're doing that. I would also reach out to Team YouTube. I don't know if they'll be able to assist you or not, but I would, get after them too. Like, hey, these people keep harassing me, and this is on X because that's where they handle this sort of thing. Be like, hey, they keep harassing me and they keep harassing me. I need your help here, and see if they can help you there. But in the meantime, the blocked words list and then hiding that user from your channel is the best you got at this moment in time.
We have to work with the tools we have, and unfortunately, if you do get one channel terminated, they just keep coming back. Yeah, you're playing whack-a-mole with them. Mm-hmm. So this is where the censored words list, the blocked words list, really comes in helpful. Yeah, because even if they keep coming back, everything that does make it into your comments, you're okay. Now I'm going to add that to my blocked words list as well. And eventually, what you're going to be left with is somebody trying to get incredibly creative by doxing you, and you can just, no matter what they come up with, you can just grab it and put it in your blocked words list, and just make it increasingly more difficult for them to dox you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to share my D's got words that aren't even in the Urban Dictionary. Yeah. I have words that make me uncomfortable when I read them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh, that's a dirty word.
Yeah, like I want to
makes me feel gross even looking at that.
I feel like I need to sanitize after.
You go take a shower when you're done.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, okay, let me update my blocked words list. Oh God, I feel horrible.
Yeah,
let me go get this stuff off of here.
Like a Brillo pad, scrub it. I'm like bleeding on my arm.
So Emerson's Crocheting says, thanks for sharing that. A lot of channels I follow and myself, we've had one person constantly making new channels and spamming our live streams, asking us to count to 500 and whatnot. Yeah, it's great for stuff like that. So for example, put the word 500 in there.
Yeah.
You also have in that same area, if you go into your settings, you also have some live stream specific things too. So you can also make some adjustments in there. So you put all those words in your block words list, but then you can also go in and adjust your live stream settings where the moderation's a little bit more strict as well. So you have that option too.
Yeah.
So next up on our list here. Oh, real quick, Sterling Wheel. Did we answer this one? Why is YouTube? Yep. Okay, we did that one.
Did we get them all?
And then here, thanks for your kind guidance. Much love. Our pleasure. Yeah, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for hanging out on the show.
Good luck with that. I know it's an absolute nightmare when people are violating your privacy that way. Use the tools to the best of your ability. Really think it through. Get in front of this. Think, okay, what could they possibly dox? What have they been sharing? And get all of those words. Get spelling variations. Yep. Put emojis in, like every possible way that they've tried to dox you. Put it all in that blocked words list, and then just block every channel, one after another. They will get to the point where they'll go harass someone else. Yeah, it might take a while, but you'll wear them down.
Also,
you'll wear them down.
Yeah, another thing there too is another thing that you can do that is really powerful when it comes to trolls, and I've had to deal with this a lot over the years
you just
too.
got to call a guy.
Well,
handle some stuff.
There's ignoring them.
Yeah.
So if you act like they don't even exist, you just block them and like that's it.
Yeah.
Then like as soon as they stop getting that attention from you and your community and all that stuff, like they'll go away, because then it becomes not fun for them anymore because you're not reacting to them. So because of that, just try when possible. I know sometimes they might get under your skin or something, but when possible, don't do things like this. Yeah. Oh, hey, this person here. Oh, hey, let's make sure that we block them. And hey, to where you're putting all of this like focus on them during your stream, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
Instead, if you do have a moderator, or if you are live streaming with other people, in that particular case, just let everybody know, like, hey, if we see this person come in, just make sure that we block them. Make sure you're paying attention to the words that they're saying, and then we're writing those down so we can add them to our blocked words list. Those types of things, so that they don't even really know all of that's happening, but you just don't give them any attention, and then they'll eventually go away. They'll keep trying, but they'll eventually go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give them air. Suffocate them.
Yep.
Timmy Tech Support says, I just drop a like.
Yeah.
That's one way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Look, I doxed you. I got it. Just like, thanks.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for the comments.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
People troll for attention.
Yeah.
So if the more attention you give them, the more not only are they inclined to troll, but other trolls see, oh, if I troll, I'm going to get attention. We've been through a handful of trolls.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had
some good ones. Yeah, we've had people like reaching out to sponsors, trying to...
we've had some dudes. There have been a handful of trolls just in the YouTube education space that kind of hit all of us. That's just the weirdest thing.
It is weird.
And they try to get sponsors to cancel your contracts. They go above and beyond. But they all go away.
Yep.
They eventually all go away.
Yep. Hey, thanks for that share, Doug. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
there was one guy, I know who I'm not going to name, who the FBI ended up going to his home. You remember what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he was making threats, like physical threats to somebody, and like the FBI ended up going to his home, and that was like the end of it.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Good. So next up, we have Cosmetic Restoration Channel. They upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for less than 1 year. They do restoration content. The goal is to make money. And the question is, hey guys, would love to hear what's a real... Oh, we did this one already. Okay, so we'll go next. So next up, we've got... Private is the name of the channel. Okay, let's go down here and just kind of... Okay, big fan, been watching for a year. Not mentioning my channels, I'm talking about money, revenue earned, but I think it would be good to see if I can message you later with it privately. Yeah, that's fine. So I made 2,000 in my first year on YouTube, followed by 10,000 in my second year so far. I honestly believe year 2 was more of a fluke than a clear projection of the future. However, my question is, at what part of one's career should they consider moving their equipment out of their bedroom and leasing an office or similar and having a permanent setup? I would like to take this route. However, since there's no guarantee of income, it naturally comes with a risk. Do you have any recommended amount someone should earn before ramping up to a big financial commitment? So the typical rule of thumb for this is that you have at least like a 6-month runway for anything like that you're going to take a risk on. And what I mean by that is that you just have money saved to where like everything is covered. Even if as a worst case scenario, you didn't make one more penny over that 6-month period, you'd still be able to handle everything. If you can do it longer, that's even better. But when it comes to YouTube, there isn't any guarantees. You could, as soon as you make that leap, you could start making some bad decisions because you're feeling that pressure and you're not, thinking like you normally would, and you start making some bad decisions, and then everything could fall apart. The way that you make content in your bedroom might be something that people really resonate with, but then when you get an office space and like a real studio, then in that case, people might be like, oh, okay, well, they're not really making that same type of, thing anymore. I just don't feel the same vibe anymore, so I'm not going to watch this anymore. You have those types of things too. So there is a risk. However, on the flip side of that, you might get into that place and be like, okay, now it's like quiet here. I can focus. This is like the only thing that's here, so I don't get distracted by other things in my house. So because of that, my output's better. I can focus more. I can make much better content here. And you might be able to just blow the walls off of your YouTube channel and just completely blow it up. So it could go either way, or you could find some happy medium in the middle. So when it comes to that, the ramp, so to speak, of being able to do that, I would just make sure that there's a strong reason that you're moving out. Make sure that you're financially okay for the next 6 months, so that you can make sure that even if things didn't go well, that you would still be able to keep the lights on and be able to feed yourself and take care of whatever responsibilities that you have, and then from there decide how important it is for you to make that move. In some cases, it is, man. It's, in some cases, it's the vibe, right? Like, the way that you make content in your room might be something that people really, enjoy, and it might help them relate to you a lot and things like that. So because of that, if you're wanting to get out of there because of noise and, just other people hearing you record, things like that, I understand. But like, you don't necessarily have to make content somewhere else, but if you want to, just make sure that you have enough money saved up to cover everything that you need for at least 6 months. And even with that, I would just make sure that you're paying attention to, like, okay, how are things going? So I have the money saved up for 6 months, but what am I producing? And then from there, once you are in that other place, I'm going to assume that you're going to be taking it more seriously. Maybe you're going to start going full time or something like that. If that's the case, also be like, okay, well, now I'm in this environment. How can I make more content? How can I, make more content on more platforms? How can I, like, really make the most out of this situation that I've created for myself? And then figure out whatever it is that you need to do in order to do that. Build and Fix with Mooney. What's up, man? Hope you're doing great.
Yeah, I think it's they're talking about getting their own place, like their own studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to test and see how your audience responds. I've seen a lot of large YouTubers who built nice studios ended up just going back to shooting like in their living room.
Yeah. Well, there's the convenience of it too.
There's a convenience factor.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm just saying, like, you never know how people are going to react.
Yeah.
There's a convenience of it. There's an authenticity factor. I think, and it depends on what type of content you're making too. Depending on what you're saying, if your environment looks too pro, it might not be believable.
Right.
Or maybe it's too much. Maybe that's too
polished.
Too polished.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one of the. We were talking about this in the car on the way over here. One of the things about TikTok that I love, and I think it's why I think TikTok's superior to all the other short form platforms, is TikTok's ability to connect you to just normal people. And you can find some of this on YouTube Shorts, but I think it's easier on TikTok, algorithmically. Easier to find just normal people in their garage, sitting in their living room.
Getting knowledge.
Just sitting there, just like somebody just grabbing their phone, no fancy. I mean, there's tons of that too.
Yeah.
But just some grandma sitting in her.
There's a little something for everybody.
Just a little grandma sitting on her rocker in her back porch, just giving you some life advice.
Yep.
And you're just like, that was awesome.
Yep.
Because there's it's authentic. It feels real.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, she went in and turned on all these lights. And I don't know. I think there's some psychological stuff that happens here. My opinion.
Yeah.
But test it and see. Test it and see. Hey,
next up.
Hold on. Sterling Wheel says, thanks for another super chat.
Yep.
Says this specific troll, I highlighted them in the live stream front and center and told my entire community.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, whatever you handle it however you want.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, for me, like, I definitely wouldn't put that spotlight on there because that's what they want. They want people to be like, what are you doing? Like, that's exactly what it is that they want, is that spotlight.
Yeah.
They want you to stop what it is that you're doing and pay attention to them.
Yes,
right?
100%.
Right. But everybody has their, different approaches and stuff. So it's fine. But I'm just saying, like, for me, I just prefer to just not even acknowledge them when possible. Yeah. Sometimes if somebody's doing something sneaky, I might have to, like, say something, in terms of, like, hey, mods, whatever. But, for the most part, like 99.999%, they've got it held down. Yeah. Victoria Mariah says, does running ads on your main channel hurt your organic reach? So it can, in terms of depending on where you are running those ads and the very specific people that are interacting with those ads. And let me explain how that can happen. So 2 different things I want to talk about. So the very first, when it comes to running ads on your YouTube channel, here, let me go here. There we go. So the very first is that when you run ads on your channel as a way to try to, speed things up, right? Like, hey, I'm going to run ads on my YouTube channel so that I can grow my channel faster. In that particular case, if you haven't learned how to get organic activity yet, then as soon as you turn off that ad spend, it's all over because you still haven't learned how to get a natural response on YouTube. So people end up wasting tons of money trying to speed things up through that because the way that YouTube works, you can't get around the learning curve. So you have to learn how to do the things, or if you're going to be spending money, you have to, or if you don't want to learn how to do them, you need to spend money on people that already know how to do them, like editors and thumbnail designers and, script writers and things like that, so that they can make, the good stuff. And then from there, you still have to get good at, presenting the information that they give you to present. So all the way around, when it comes to trying to shortcut things through ads, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just sharing this for, everybody that's watching. So when it comes to trying to shortcut the growth process through ads, if you haven't learned how to grow organically yet, then in that case, as soon as you turn that off, if you still can't get people to come up or click on your videos, you still can't come up with good video ideas, then in that case, people still aren't going to respond to your videos. Or if you just can't capture them and they come in the videos and give them a good experience, they're still not going to respond. Your videos are still not going to do well on YouTube. So there's that. Now, if you do know how to get a response, but you run ads on your videos or you run ads on your channel, then in that particular case, one thing that people will do often is they will run ads in places where they can get, lower ad rates and things like that, or they're just not an expert ads person. And because of that, their targeting is off. And when their targeting is off, what happens is you might have a lot of people interacting with that video. Some of those people will start exploring your channel. In that particular video, that ad traffic isn't going to matter. But if they explore your YouTube channel and they go and they're clicking on some videos there and they're watching some stuff and, all of that, then in that particular case, if the audience isn't perfect for your channel and you have a lot of those people coming in because you're spending a lot of money on ads, then it can kind of break things in terms of YouTube showing your content or not really having the clarity that it had prior to who it is that they should be showing your content to. So because of that, you got to be really careful if you're going to run ads on your YouTube channel, and I recommend that you don't even do it. So if you are going to run ads on your channel in terms of like if you're going to run like Google ads or something like that, I wouldn't do that. I would actually do it through the promotions tab if you're going to do it. But even with that, like I wouldn't do it. I would just focus on, learning how to make good content that people respond to, and then I would skip it. Another thing when it comes to running ads on your channel is you also, and this is like a more of an opinion on this, but I think that running ads on your channel so that you can get vanity numbers is a pretty short-sighted thing. If you are running ads on your channel because you have something to sell, then it's different, right? So if you run ads on your channel and you're like, hey, well, we have this program that we put people through and this, that, and the other thing. So because of that, we're running ads to target to this video, but it's also going to grow our channel. And we know how to run ads. We know how to target people. We know how to do all that stuff. Then in that case, it can work. So I have a friend of mine. He does SEO. He's like in the SEO world. And one of the things that he does on his channel is he runs ads, and he knows, he knows how to run. He actually has an agency around ads and all that stuff. Like he knows what he's doing. But basically, he runs ads to his channel for a specific video that converts really well for them. And then he also is really good at organic growth as well. So then he, runs that, in tandem. So you can do it, but you just have to know what it is that you're doing in order for it to, work out, in the best level and not complicate things for you. So yes, it can work, but you just have to make sure that you know what you're doing. So if you know what you're doing, it can be fine. But you just have to be really careful because it is easy to just kind of temporarily, fill your channel with the people that aren't necessarily the perfect fit for your content, which is what you ultimately want for YouTube to make sure that your videos are getting recommended to the right people all the time.
Another super chat from Tango in the Kitchen.
Tango in the Kitchen, thank you for the super chat. Says, just to thank you. Also, I started a new routine where I restarted reading Daryl E's book before going to my 9 to 5. Nice.
There you go.
Good motivation right there, right? Thanks for the super chat. Good. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good motivation. The book that she's talking about, just in case you guys aren't familiar with this, is the YouTube formula right here. I get a link to this down in the description, or you can just go to Amazon and just look for YouTube formula and it'll pop up. He also has an audio version of this as well. So if you prefer the audio version, they have this available too. Really good book about YouTube. So definitely make sure to check that out. In fact, the author of this book is going live with somebody after this stream today. He's going live with somebody who grew their YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers in a month.
Daryl's going live today?
Yeah. Yeah, here, I think it's at 11 Eastern, or 11 local time, sorry, which would be noon Eastern, I think.
Are you handing off after this one?
Yeah. So as soon as this stream's over, it'll send you over there. But basically, they grew, 1 million subscribers in a month. So yeah, it's
that is insane.
It'll be an interesting stream.
How do you even, if you don't have experience?
Well, they might have had experience.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if just because some people explode, some people just come out and do all the right things, and they're just naturally in tune, and they just knock it out of the park. But how do you even hold on and handle something like that? 1 million in a month, like what? That's
substantial.
Bonkers. That's bonkers.
It is.
Yeah, because you know everything that comes with that. The audience management. How do you?
They might just love it. They might just love it.
Just answering comments. They might something at that scale. Like
they might love it. Like I know. I know that
what I'm saying is you're learning everything. You're learning everything all at once.
Yeah.
Instead
of
trial
by fire, man.
Right.
Yeah, you're just
instead of gradually, like, okay, well, man, I'm putting way too much time answering these comments. Maybe I need to have somebody help me. Maybe I need to prioritize. This person's just like everything all at once.
Yeah.
Right. Here's all the hats, wear them all at once.
Yep.
Good luck. That's wild.
Yep.
Absolutely wild.
So next up, we've got Man Cave 101 podcast. Sounds like a good podcast.
Love it.
Yep. So they do daily content, been on YouTube for a year or more. It says they're nerdy types, they're nerdy news and movie reviews channel. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, are these YouTube marketers on sites like Fiverr who claim to be able to analyze your site and grow your channel legit and or even worth the time and money? So I can't speak for everybody that's on Fiverr, so I'm not sure. But one thing that I can tell you is that there's a lot of people out there that are trying to make money off of YouTubers right now that have no idea what it is that they're doing. Yeah. So because of that, just kind of, proceed with caution. Like there are some people that are really, really smart and really good at YouTube and they really understand YouTube, but they just can't get the response themselves, either just how they present or the ideas they come up. Well, not really the ideas they come up with. They just don't have the personality, so to speak, and because of that, they have trouble, getting things going on their own. So there are a lot of really, talented people like that as well. But one thing that I've always been a fan of is, like if I'm going to be taking advice from somebody, I would hope that they have done the thing that I'm trying to get advice from. Right? Like if I was going to go to the gym and I was going to, hire a trainer to help me, be able to do it.
Your trainer's going to be jacked.
Yeah, that trainer is going to have the physique that I'm trying to get. Right. So, so because of that, just be mindful, of that and just, consider those types of things. But like I said, I can't really speak for, anybody over there, but there are a lot of really good YouTube consultants. If you are looking for that sort of thing, I recommend that you check out Roberto Blake. I recommend that you check out Daniel Batal. I know Brian G. Johnson does some of that. Daryl Eves does all that stuff. If you are, at that level there, for him. Let's see here. I know Patty Galloway does that. I think Colin Samir might do a little bit of that. Let's see here. Who else? Yeah, there's a lot of, credible, really good people out there. I don't think Marcus does one-on-ones anymore, Marcus Jones. I don't think Ed at Film Booth does either.
Did Ed stop?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so there's a lot of really good people out there that can help you out. Nate Black, I can't believe that took me that to the end of that. But yeah, Nate Black is also, I know for a fact that he does that kind of stuff. So you might want to hit him up as well. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't expect to get a good result for $5 or $10 off of Fiverr. Yeah. Like, you're like, if you're going to work with somebody that knows what they're doing, you're going to pay, at least several $100s, like on the low end for that.
Listen, I don't want to throw anyone on Fiverr under a bus because I don't know who's over there. But just generally speaking, no matter what you do on Fiverr, it's really hit or miss. And there's a good chance that these people are just downloading PDFs from other people and watching other people's videos and walking you through this.
If you want that,
my thing is this, and this is kind of a good way to weed people out. If you're looking for someone to help you as, it's called a YouTube coach, let's call it that.
I just closed my questions.
If a YouTube coach is not able to get in front of you algorithmically, then that's probably not a coach that you want. Meaning that YouTube is set up in a way to where if somebody is looking for customers or looking for people to work with, they're making videos. They have channels.
Yeah, they should show up in your feed.
Right. And if you're looking for that sort of thing and those people aren't showing up, then you might want to rethink them. Because if somebody who's claiming to help you with your channel if they don't know how to get in front of you on YouTube, then they're probably not who you want.
Right.
That's kind of my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, other things like before you hire somebody on Fiverr.
You wouldn't be looking for them on Fiverr if they were good at their job. They would be getting in front of you on YouTube.
Right.
Just for what it's worth. Good.
Yeah, so here, hold on real quick. I'm going to do something real quick, and I hope this is okay. Let me actually look and make sure that they said that it was okay. Okay, I can reference the channel on stream. Okay.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do just for fun. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And before you hire somebody on Fiverr, do this. You'll probably get, a lot of the similar information, but it'll at least give you a place to start. So what I'm going to do here is I'm on your YouTube channel. I'm going to go up here to this very top button right here. First, I'm going to scroll, make sure everything's loaded. See what we have here 13 days ago, 9 days ago. Okay. So of course, this is all going to be, I'm using this plugin here called Fireshot, and I'm going to capture the entire page. Okay. And what this is going to do is it's going to produce an image for me, which you can't see right now. And then
what are you getting at here?
Hold on. And then I'm going to drop this image. Let me change what it is that I'm sharing here.
By the way, I would check your channel header on a mobile device. You're probably getting stuff cut off there.
So let me remove this.
What are you up to?
Stop sharing.
What are you up to over there? You're being sneaky. Just tell us what you're doing. I am. The suspense is killing me.
Yep. So what we're going to do,
absolutely killing me,
is right here. I just dropped your channel into ChatGPT. That screenshot that I took.
Oh Lord.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, just to start here.
By the way, I just want to say before he continues, if you are not using ChatGPT, even the free version, to just help you with anything, you are missing out. You are absolutely missing out. I would probably delete. It would be tough between YouTube Premium and Chat. I would probably have to get rid of YouTube Premium. I would delete YouTube and stop being a creator before I get rid of ChatGPT. That's how dependent I've become on it. I use it for everything. We have a problem with our front door loading washing machine at home. And I couldn't, I'm like, okay, well, it keeps getting stuck and we have to keep flipping the breaker and all of this stuff in order to get it undone. So I go into ChatGPT and I take pictures of the washer and this stuff. I'm like, the front door is sticking. What do we do? And it was like, oh, on the bottom right-hand side, there's a little lever or there's a little container or a little door. Open that tiny door. There's a little red handle in there. You can pull and tug on that little handle and it's an emergency latch for the door. And I was like, oh my God, like that's my daily use with GPT. Like there's always something every single day that I use it for to learn about something. What are you typing in?
I need to add a role in here.
Okay,
can you act as an expert?
Yeah, I learn about anything.
YouTube.
Yeah, even the free version's amazing.
Okay. So what I did is I put your screenshot in here, and we're going to see how this comes out. And I have no idea. So basically, I'm just kind of winging this with you guys right now. But basically, I put the screenshot in here of the entire channel page. And you could also do this on your video page. You can do this per video if you want, like whatever you want.
You know what you should start with,
But it says, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. Can you act as an expert YouTube coach and look at my channel page, image attached, and tell me the top 10 things I can start doing right now to improve my content? Look at video topics, thumbnail, consistency in uploads, branding, consistency in themes, etc. Then anything else that you think would be helpful for me. What were we going to say, D?
No, good.
Okay, and then we're gonna upload this, and we're just gonna see what it says. Now, this is just the normal mode. I would also try the same exact thing in, like, you know, the 03 right here for the advanced reasoning also, just to see, you know, just to get a bunch of different ideas. So the cool thing here is that you can put this into ChatGPT, and you can use the different models. You can write different prompts and all these different things. So you can start to, you know, just take all of the information and compile it together. And then you can take all that information, compile it together, drop it back into ChatGPT, and ask it to summarize it for you and give you the most actionable things that you can start doing right now. So right here it says, absolutely, thanks for sending the full screenshot. I'll approach this exactly like a YouTube coach would if you hired me privately, detailed, specific, and actionable. After reviewing your channel, here are 10 things that you can start working on right now. Tighten your branding, make it look more professional and cohesive. Your banner is colorful and energetic, which fits your vibe, but it's very chaotic. It's hard to tell immediately what your channel is about at a glance.
I would have said that.
Your profile picture, it looks cool, but could be simplified for clarity at small sizes.
I would have said that.
Fix, redesign your banner, and this is actionable that you can do right now. Redesign your banner,
check it on mobile,
and possibly your profile pics so they're cleaner, more modern, and consistent. Example: one tagline, one strong visual, nerdy talk, weekly reviews, reactions, and gauntlets. Next, create a consistent thumbnail style. Right now, your thumbnails are very busy. Lots of text, lots of small images, hard to decode at a glance. Okay, so one of the things that you always hear us talking about is making sure that all this stuff is easy at a glance. So when it comes to the glance thing, for anybody here, when you're making thumbnails, ask yourself this question when you're putting thumbnails together. One, how easy is it for people to identify this at a glance that it has something to do with something they might care about? And two, if the title didn't exist, and the only thing that people had to get some context from would be my thumbnail, what would my thumbnail say to those people, right? And you can also drop your thumbnails in here for that kind of information. But here it says some thumbnails use thick fonts, others use thin fonts. Some have black outlines and others don't. The fix: choose 1 to 2 fonts maximum. Use consistent text placement. Always include either your face or a strong emotional moment. Use bold, high contrast colors. Make it so viewers can recognize your thumbnail immediately without reading the title. Next, focus your topics tighter. Focus your topics sharper, niche tighter. So it says you're covering Marvel, DC, anime, gaming, artist spotlights, podcasts, and Guidelines, a lot of different verticals. Choose your main identity. For example, the Ultimate Nerd Talk podcast, movie, TV show reactions or discussions, or comic and anime reactions. So basically, they're like, pick your value prop, right? Like how are you going, like what is it that you're offering? Narrowing a bit will help YouTube recommend your content better because the algorithm favors specialized creators. Okay, a little food for thought there. Next, upgrade video titles. Make them more clickable. Some of your titles are great. Every negative stereotype in a show, but others are generic. Invincible Season 3 Finale Reaction. Make titles curiosity-driven and emotionally charged. Instead of Invincible Season 3 Final, say Invincible Season 3 Ending. Did they just change everything? We were not ready for this Invincible finale, right? But anyway, I'm not going to keep going through all of this, but you can see here, it's giving me like this full detailed summary of like all these things that you can start doing right now. So if you were to hire somebody on Fiverr right now, this is the stuff that they would tell you. If you hire like a real YouTube coach, they're going to go into your analytics. They're going to actually, get some real information to help you on the back end there. But when it comes to this sort of thing, you can also load your Google CSVs in here. So how many people here know that you can export your YouTube analytics into a CSV file or a Google sheet? Just say me if you do know that. So when it comes to that, another thing that you can do there is you can click the little plus icon, right, on your in your stats. And when you click that plus icon, when you're in advanced mode, it gives you all of these different variables that you can add. Depending on what you're looking at, different variables will apply. But basically what you can do is you can say, okay, I'm going to add all these different variables so I can export as much data as possible on this thing I'm trying to figure out. And then from there, I'm going to export my CSV file from YouTube, and then I'm going to load that into ChatGPT, and then I'm going to start asking questions against my data too. So it's also going to help you with those things. So there's a lot of things here that you can do with tools like ChatGPT and Claude that it might not get into the nitty gritty, it might not understand the nuance yet, but it can give you a good lead when you're just like, hey, how can I without paying hundreds or thousands of dollars in some cases to somebody to analyze my channel, like let me just pay $20 for ChatGPT for 1 month. And then just throw everything I've got at it and see what kind of advice it gives me.
Critique your thumbnails,
right,
everything.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, how can I do this better? Oh, okay, so you're telling me to make better thumbnails. How do I do that? With this thumbnail, what exactly can I do to make it better? And it'll tell you, right? So again, sometimes it's a little bit off, but as long as you're interacting with it, you kind of steer it in the right direction. But I mean, it's a good place to start, especially if you are somebody that's like, okay, I don't know a ton about this stuff yet, and I'm just trying to kind of figure things out and just get some advice on how to kind of move things in the right direction. Like this is a great place to start, right? Great place to start.
And with that little clip,
but you got to ask the right questions.
Nick just ended all the people on Fiverr,
right? Yeah, no. Right. But you have to ask the right questions too, right? Yeah. That's another big part of this is you have to know what to ask. So just spend some time. Even ask it. Say, okay, I'm going to be asking you questions about my YouTube channel. Say this into ChatGPT. Okay, I'm going to be dropping a screenshot into here. I'm going to be dropping in my YouTube data into, so that you can review it. Can you write a prompt for me that will give me the most, the most information about things that I can do to improve my YouTube channel? Make it detailed, and all of that. And then it'll also write a prompt for you. And you can also say things like, let me know, 20 questions that I can ask you about this YouTube data that I'm uploading, and then it'll give you those questions. So you can use these types of tools for that kind of stuff now.
As Doug says, learn how to prompt. Spend some time, watch a couple of YouTube videos, learning how to prompt the AI to make sure you're asking the right questions, the relevant questions. It's also important that you give AI a role.
Yeah,
you need to tell it what role to play.
Yeah, that's why I put the YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
I need you to be a YouTube expert.
Yeah.
And tell me blah 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 blah. Right. If you give it a role, it knows how to react to you.
Yep.
Like Doug says, you have to be very specific.
Give me the same advice like your, hold on, I'm just curious what it'll do here.
See if it'll do it.
Like your Nick Nimmin.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what it does. I don't know if everybody's will do this or if it'll do it. Hold on.
Show.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be funny.
Show it. We need to see this at the. We need to share in this embarrassment.
Yeah,
that's
I know,
about
right?
to take place.
Okay, so here we go. So basically, it says absolutely. Let me shift into that mode. Here's how I would talk to you if I were Nick Nimmin: direct, helpful, no fluff, and rooted in helping you actually grow. All right, here's the deal. Would I say that? I guess
I've
I would.
never heard. Here's the deal. You might say that.
Looking at your channel, you've got this passion. You're showing up, which is huge, but you're leaving a lot of growth potential on the table because of how everything is presented and positioned. If you want to take things to the next level, here are the 10 biggest things that I would focus on immediately. Your branding needs to be cleaner and easier to connect with. Your banner is fun, but it's way too busy. Okay, talking about the same stuff. Simple, bold. Right now, random viewer sees chaos. You want them to see, oh, these guys. That's totally me right there.
What?
Oh, these two guys do nerd talk and reactions. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Clean it up, vision and purpose. Your thumbs are fighting against you. Too much clutter, too much tiny text, too many visual distractions. You have to remember people are flying through YouTube on phones. Your thumbnails need to pop the size of a post stamp. I would never say postage stamp, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't completely nail it, but kind of funny.
You should cancel ChatGPT.
Yeah, right. It's horrible service right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, you get the idea though. But like, these tools are available too. So instead of spending money on Fiverr, like when it comes to the nuance in like stats and things like that, like, right now, one thing that it can't do is it can't like look across a bunch of videos and say like, okay, hey, this is, I notice when I'm looking at your analytics that every time, or your retention reports, that every time you do this, that, that people are leaving and, those types of things. It can't do that yet. However, it can do a lot of helpful things for you to start, kind of sending you in the right direction. So hopefully that was helpful. All right. Next.
That was a nice little detour.
Yep. Sorry if you work at Fiverr, I apologize. Just go ahead and say that in advance. Right?
Don't apologize to anyone at Fiverr.
That's probably what they're going to do anyway. They're probably going to do that anyway.
And Fiverr lets theft, copyright, intellectual property issues just run rampant over there.
They do.
If Fiverr went out of business, I would not feel sorry for them in any way, shape, or form.
Yep. Yeah, Build and Fix with Mooney says, I told him 2 years ago I don't need a coach, and he was right. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, coaches, can definitely be, helpful, and they can definitely make some game-changing, insights for you. Another thing that a coach is really good at is, there's little nuances that they pick up on, like, like the way that you might communicate something. Like what ChatGPT can't do at this moment in time is like, they can't, like, they don't know when you're saying something, like the inflections that you're using, right? They don't know about those types of things. It's not looking right now to see if you're like looking at the camera or if you seem confident or not, and like things like that. Like it can't pick up those types of nuances yet, right? But it can help you a lot along the way. So next up, we've got no channel. And the question is, does posting a video but not promoting it right away affect growth later? For instance, if I post a video but don't promote it right away because I want to gather data on YouTube's thumbnail feature, will this negatively impact my video's growth once I start actively promoting? Not at all. Yeah, so what you really want is you want YouTube to get to the point where you don't have to promote your videos anyway. And you let YouTube do everything for you, right? That's what you want. So if you take the approach of like waiting for YouTube to do its thing, and then you're like, hey, people in my Reddit community, hey, people on, X or BlueSky or wherever it is that you're hanging out, if you want to promote it then that's fine if you want to, as long as the people that you are promoting it to are a laser fit for your content. Yeah. We are actually talking about this in the members only Facebook group. Actually, I think it was today or yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. And the thing is when you are promoting your content, one of the things you want to make sure that you are doing is inside of every YouTube channel, for every video, you have something called a traffic sources report. So you get to see like a pretty dumbed down version of that in like the quick analytics that you see. But if you go into advanced mode analytics, you actually get more information there. So what you want to do if you are promoting your videos on other platforms like Reddit or Facebook or Discord or websites, whatever, one of the things that you can do is you can go into your traffic sources report and then look under external traffic. And then when you look at external, then you'll see like Facebook and Reddit or wherever it is that people are sharing your videos or you're sharing your videos. And then there you'll see how long people are watching for. And if you find like, hey, if I share these in my Facebook group, people are coming in and they're leaving quickly, Well, you probably shouldn't be sharing it in that Facebook group because people aren't responding well to the content. You're just wasting your time sharing it over there. If you're like, hey, I'm sharing this on Reddit, but people, they come in from Reddit and they bounce. They don't, stay on the video for long. Then in that case, probably shouldn't share it there. But if you're like, hey, when I share this over on Reddit, people come in, they watch the video just like they do when YouTube's recommending it to people, then in that case, that might be a really good place to, share your content to on a regular basis, because those people are a great fit for your content. And another thing to think about when you are sharing your content as well is before you share it there, ask yourself, okay, for the people in this group, based on the things that people talk about in this group and based on the things that people are interested in here, are these people just a perfect fit for my content in a way that if YouTube were to recommend my video to them on their homepage, to where they would click on it almost every time? If the answer is yes, then it's probably a good group to share. If the answer is like, I don't know, maybe, like there might be some, then don't even worry about it. Let's see here. Next up.
How are we doing on questions?
Yeah, we're good on questions for now.
Good.
So next up, we've got Donna Lamore. Retired Life is the name of the channel. Hope you're doing awesome, Donna. Uploads 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel, I have 2. One is my retired channel, and the other one is about tarot cards. And the question is, I love your show. It helps me so much. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. Glad you're enjoying it. It says, how do I connect with other creators in my niche? So I just reach out and ask if they would like to chat. I think it would be helpful to talk to other creators. Yes. Yeah, so if you want to talk to other creators, there's a few different places, free places that you can do it. One is there are some great Facebook groups. So Brian G. Johnson has one called Tube Ritual. Tom Nash has one called YouTube Creators, I think it is. We have one that I'm making it public, but I'm not sure if it's like fully public yet. But it's called like YouTube and Video Tips, I think it is for that one. And let's see here, Daryl Eves also has one called Creators Helping Creators. But there's some good Facebook groups out there where it is content creators, and with those, the whole idea there is it's other creators that are looking for other creators to talk to, right? Same exact thing. So they can kind of share, hey, this is how my channel's doing, or hey, I'm running into this problem. Anybody have any suggestions? Hey, I'm looking for a good camera. This is the type of content I make. Do you have any suggestions? So you have that. Other things that you could do in your case specifically is go into groups there on Reddit or on Discord or wherever, and go into groups around like the tarot card stuff. And then there you might find people, hey, any YouTubers here? And then if there is a YouTuber, they might say something there. And if so, then you can take that conversation into DMs and that kind of stuff there. In addition to that, there's also the About Me page on every YouTube channel. As long as the creator has their channel set up properly, then they should have a email there on their About Me page under the business inquiry area. So what you can do there is for other creators in your niche is you can reach out to them there and be like, hey, I make content like you, and just kind of trudging along over here on my own, and just wanted to reach out and just say if you wanted to chat sometime, because we're both making the same type of content. And then for the people that are interested in that, they will, and for the people that are not interested in that, they won't. Yep. So yeah, those types of things are definitely things that you can do. Yeah, thanks for this, Valentine. And Valentine also mentions that the YouTube Creator Collective is also having in-person events. They said they went to one in Las Vegas and it was awesome, and there might be one coming near you. So yeah, keep an eye out for those as well, because they are doing those types of things. Also, you might also want to Google or hop onto like Facebook, because that's usually where like group type stuff, or even the app, I think it's called Meet or something like that, and just look for like YouTube meetups in your area and that kind of stuff, because those types of things happen as well. Like here in Thailand,
they even happen here.
Yeah, here in Thailand, like they don't happen as often as they used to. But we have like meetups here to where occasionally, if like a YouTuber's coming through town, then, they will go into that group, and then they'll end up, giving some type of presentation or something like that based on, their experience, growing their channels. And then, everybody there will be able to get value from that. And then we go over to that, and then we'll hang out over there and just kind of, just hang out with other content creators too.
Find your people.
Yeah. So next up, we've got Cody's Outdoor Videos. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for a year or more. The question is, YouTube is 20 years old now. Do you think my content would have worked 20 years ago, or will it still work today?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Like it's definitely, different now than it used to be. Like, 20 years ago, people were just making videos because they just wanted to make videos. And those, people that were just doing it to do it were super passionate about it. And they were just, in it for the love of the art, so to speak. Where now, it's more aggressive. There's a lot more competition. It's a lot more money driven now for a lot of content creators because it is a gigantic opportunity and people, want a piece of it. So it's understandable, but it was just a totally different thing back then. So because of that, it's probably likely that people would have watched you back then. And the reason for that is because you might have been introducing something that YouTube didn't even have back then, right? To where it would have been something, completely fresh and new. So it's possible. So next up, we got Quitta Love Sports. They do daily content, but on YouTube for a year or more. They do women's basketball news and commentary. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and be a full-time creator. And the question is, a large company, it's legit, has reached out and offered to run ads on my channel, but the sponsorship cut is 25% me and 75% them. That is not a sponsorship, just so you know.
Yeah.
It says, I'm still new to YouTube, and I can't find any advice on what is a fair split. Their lone involvement will be selling ads, and I will still fully produce all my own stuff. I just need help on how I can figure out this, if this is a bad deal. So what they're doing isn't a sponsorship. What they're doing is affiliate marketing. So a sponsorship is where you're getting paid regardless, okay? So that means that you're getting paid if the video does well. If the video gets 1 million views or 20 million views on it, you're going to get paid the same amount than if the video got 10 views on it. Right. That's a sponsorship.
They're sneaky with this. They reach out. They're like, we're interested in a sponsorship. And then there's just they
target new creators with this. Yeah. So what you're doing where it's like, hey, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to talk about your product. If somebody goes there and they purchase that product, then I'm going to get a 25% commission, and then they get the 75%. That's called affiliate marketing, which is a completely different thing. So when it comes to sponsorship, contracts are involved, deadlines are involved. There's a lot involved when it comes to sponsorships. When it comes to affiliate marketing, it's a lot more free. You promote on your terms as long as you're within their guidelines. Sometimes contracts are involved with affiliate marketing too, but or most times contracts are involved, but not in a formal way like they are with sponsorships. So with sponsorships, they have like all these legal things in there about disclosures and that kind of stuff. Where it's affiliate marketing, it's more like, hey, if you sign up for our program, you agree to these terms, right? So it's a much different thing. So
and what are they doing with wanting to run ads?
Yeah. Because of that what they're doing is it's affiliate marketing. So because of that, just know that it's not a sponsorship and that they are kind of being a little bit predatory on making you think that it's a sponsorship because it's not. Now, if they offer you money plus a commission, okay, then we start getting into sponsorship territory. But if it's just you only get paid if you send somebody there and they sign up, then in that case, that's not a sponsorship in any capacity, and you are basically just doing affiliate marketing. And in that case, that means that you can go and you can find out all of their competitors and them, and you can promote everybody, right? You can promote them, you can promote all their competitors as long as they're a good fit for your audience. And the same exact thing applies if their competitors have affiliate programs where you can make money from everybody that does that particular type of thing. So I recommend that you don't do that as long as it's what it is that it looks like right here. So there might be more involved with that. But just be weary that you say it's no commission involved. Then what's the cut then? Yeah, I don't understand what the cut is. Because you say if the sponsorship cut is 25% me. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
What is it?
So an agency has reached out to you. Okay, so I'm misunderstanding what you're saying here then. Okay, so an agency has reached out to you and they offered to run ads on your channel. Yeah, that's where everything breaks down. That doesn't make any sense. Because they don't need your permission per se to run ads on your channel. Unless you have the check mark where it's blocked. So with that, 25% you and 75% them, I would not do that. I wouldn't do that. So instead, I would actually seek your own deals so that you can get 100% on that. Yeah, I would not split.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I would not do a 75% cut with somebody that's bringing me sponsorships. I would not do that as a knowing I wouldn't do that.
Seems a little dodgy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's substantial, let me look at your channel real quick. Let me see what you have going on. Like if it's substantial, then sometimes those numbers work out, you know, like a 25, 30%, but 34,000, you're getting like 1,200 views on this thing you streamed an hour ago, 13,000 on one that you streamed 14 hours ago. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, if it's a substantial amount of money, it might be worth it.
How much are they wanting? 75%?
The agency is wanting 75%. Yeah.
Yeah,
it might be, you know, worth it depending on the dollar amounts. So that's really going to come down to you in that case and saying like, okay, if I'm getting paid regardless and they are basically, they go get the deal, they bring the total deal to me, and then I get to agree to the deal. Not I have to do the deal, but I get to agree to the deal after it's presented to me, and it's lucrative enough that 25% would be worth it to me. Then in that case, yeah, I think it's fine. But if you like, everybody's going to feel differently about that. Because, you know, for some people, you know, that 25% might not be enough. For other people, you know, it would in terms of the amount of money that they're making from it. And then in some cases, if you weren't going to go out there and try to get the brand deals anyway, then in that case, if they are bringing you those deals, then, you know, they should get a commission, you know, for that as well. So, yeah, it might be okay. It's really just going to come down to what you think is acceptable for the money that you're getting. Yeah, I kind of went all over the place on that one.
You did. I was
went
just
to
kind
like affiliate marketing and like agency stuff, and yeah,
the question was worded kind of.
That was a
the question
yellow brick road.
When you read
that was.
When you read the question, I wasn't that clear on it either. Also, make sure that this is a legit agency. Yeah. Make sure it's not somebody.
Yeah, they put a note in here saying that it was legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Triple check it.
Yeah. Triple
check that they're legit.
Yeah. Yeah, and also don't sign exclusive contracts with them. Don't sign anything that is like, hey, I will not work with other brands, like anything like that. Like what it is that if it is an agency reaching out, that is like a normal thing. A lot of creators do work with agencies, and when they work with agencies, the agencies do, you know, get a commission. And sometimes it is, you know, 25, 30%. That is a normal thing too. Sometimes it's higher to where the creator will get 75% and then the other people will get 25%. In my opinion, I think that you as the creator, because you're the one that's actually putting in the content, and you're the one that's actually making the thing possible. I would actually lean more on at least a 50-50 cut instead of 25%, at least. But I would probably go more towards 75% you and 25% them, instead of, you know, 75% them and 25% you, because that is a pretty substantial amount just for them bringing you the deal. So I would actually counter with 75 you, 25 them, and just see what they say. They might just ghost you from there. It's a risk you're going to take, but I would go for like a 50-50 at least, at the very minimum, just like Build and Fix with Mooney here says. And that's just for the sake of, just being fair. Because
the other thing is this, like, I don't know if they've talked numbers with you yet, but what kind of deals will they be bringing you? Like if they're bringing you really large deals.
That's what I was saying about the dollar amount.
Right.
Yeah,
but that's kind of information you need to know up front.
Right.
Because like, hey, we want this percentage of your ad revenue when you sign with us. Yeah, but what are you bringing me?
Right.
Like what level of, you know, how much money are we talking about with the brands you're going to be bringing me? What am I making for them?
Yeah. Also keep in mind as well, like some agencies, they'll, you know, sign with you, and then, you know, they'll try to lock you down to like an exclusive thing, only working with them. And then when you lock into that exclusive thing, then, you know, they'll do like a couple of deals with you, and then they'll get some creators that they can get more money from, or more money for. And then they'll start, you know, aggressively trying to get them deals instead of you and things like that, which is why I'm telling you not to lock in any like time contracts or any exclusive contracts or anything like that, because you don't want to limit yourself because of, you know, the decisions that they decide to make. Let's see here. So next up, we've got English Woodsman. Been on YouTube for a year or more, does camping and great outdoors content. Question is, hey, brothers from the same mother, what's going on? Says, silly question, but do we all feel TikTok is taking views away from long-form videos on YouTube? So it's another platform. So I think when it comes to YouTube, I think Clapper's taken views away. I think Instagram Reels has taken views away. I think TikTok has taken views away. I think YouTube is kind of cannibalizing themselves with their own YouTube Shorts. I think YouTube Shorts is more of a threat than TikTok is. Yeah. And the reason for that is because, people go to YouTube to enjoy YouTube. And when YouTube is pushing shorts at you in every possible direction, sometimes you're going to click on it. And then as a creator, that's going to hurt us, when it comes to the long form. But yeah, I think there's definitely an attack on long form content. But at the end of the day, there are people that still love watching long form content. So leaning into that and being like, okay, for the people that do like watching long form content, I'm going to try to, make as good of videos as possible for them. Yeah, definitely lean into that. But yeah, without question, I think we'll say vertical content because it's getting, 3 minutes now on YouTube Shorts. I think you can get up to 15 on TikTok, I believe.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah, it's like 10 or 15. I think Instagram and Facebook Reels is somewhere around 10 or maybe 15 as well. So, you have the, longer content that you can watch on those platforms as well. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, my whole stance on that is as a viewer, right? And this is going to be different for everybody, but for me as a viewer, I watch YouTube Shorts. I watch YouTube long form on my phone. I watch YouTube long form on my computer, usually in the form of tutorials if I'm on my computer. I'll watch YouTube TV, on TV. I'll watch TikTok. Every now and then I'll hop over to Instagram Reels. I'll spend some time on Reddit. I'll spend some time over on X. So, I've got all these different places where I'm kind of sharing my attention. And sometimes it's rare, but sometimes I'll find somebody. Dee and I were actually talking about this today, and I'll follow him over on YouTube. So there's this guitar player that I was watching.
It's rare that you follow somebody over. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this guitar player that I ran across during a live stream on TikTok. I was having coffee and I was on TikTok and just kind of killing some time at Starbucks. And this guitar player came up and I had my headphones in, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I was just listening to him, and I ended up just like playing him in the car and everything on the way home because he was live. And then when I got home, I was like, man, this dude's awesome. And then I went and hunted him down everywhere so that hopefully I'll get recommended his content, everywhere. But I haven't been recommended his content yet on YouTube, which is funny. Even after I hunted him down and subscribed to his channel, I haven't been recommended any of his videos yet. But the idea is that, when it comes to the vertical content, I think that, yes, it's taking views away from long form because it's an option of something to do. But I think when it comes to being a content creator, that you should make what it is that you feel the most, comfortable with or that you enjoy the most. But I also think that, these other formats are creating additional opportunities for us too. Like, for example, I'm not sure if you were here earlier in the stream, but I mentioned about me, just kind of rebuilding my habit of, because I've been distracted with all this, learning how to make apps and stuff. And right now I'm in the process of rebuilding, the habit of, just continually putting content out. And one thing that's been really helpful for me for that is vertical content. So I have some like custom repurposed content that I've made. And I also have some, a bunch of like just dedicated, talking directly to the camera shorts that I've made too, that I have scheduled up now on TikTok and Facebook for the next like 2 weeks. And then I've got a bunch more that I haven't even scheduled yet. But basically all of that is helping me build that muscle of like, okay, every day I got to make something, right? So sometimes that's going to be a long form video. Sometimes it's going to be a short, but every day I have to make something, and that's kind of my rule right now. So because of that, it's just helping me get back on the horse, and these vertical platforms are allowing me to just kind of, be able to do that habit a little bit easier, right? So yeah, everything has its place.
Well, you went all over the place on that one too.
I did.
That's
my thing this evening.
They were just asking, they're like, "Hey,
what? Yeah, do you think it's good or no?" I could have been like, "Yeah, definitely," and then moved on. Right. I'm like, "No, let's spend 25 minutes on this."
Right. I drank half of a coffee while you were answering that.
Yeah, you went and got the coffee.
I went,
came back,
and you were still going,
and sat here and drank it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with what you said.
You called Jeff Bezos, went to space, came back down, got a coffee, and then came back in while I was doing that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Me and Katy Perry went up.
Yeah.
She's an astronaut now, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, guess so. So Steve Adams stories.
I want to add to what you say. Your audience is where they're at. Mm-hmm. If you're deep into the TikTok culture, and some people,
what I meant by the opportunity.
Yeah. Some people just love TikTok. Some people love Reels. Some people love, people are, the audience is where they are. And some people jump around from app to app, but some people are just like, yeah, this is my app. Mm-hmm. So Yeah, I think everything's eating into everything.
Yeah.
But, upload where you want to upload.
Yep.
If you think you're losing views to a platform, then upload to that platform too if you have the time.
Right.
There are plenty of tools out there like Opus Clips who can help you repurpose your videos to do that.
Yep. Right here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And not the Katy Perry cat. Listen, let's talk about that for a second. I think it was awesome.
Yeah, I think it's cool too.
And when that becomes affordable, I will.
Oh, we're doing it, dude. Yeah,
As soon as that's
Yeah.
affordable,
Yeah.
I will be in that phallic-shaped ship, shooting up to the whatever level they flew up to. Yeah, that's me all day long, and I will fly up there.
That whole 11 minutes, I'm in for it.
Yeah, I'll pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah, all day long, and people can clown me all they want. Yeah, I will do it.
Yep.
Yeah, all day long, I will go up there and do it.
Yeah, I dropped my new TikTok in there too. So if any of you do watch TikTok, if you hang out on TikTok, definitely make sure I dropped it in the chat here. Just make sure that you head over there and check out my stuff over there too.
We've got a super chat.
So next up, we've got Alex Sensei. Says, yo, Nick and D, finally watching live. Started this new channel. Thanks for the super chat. Says, started this new channel, but is the copyright the same that you need to be monetized before you're able to see if others are using your vertical content? Yeah, I think that all of that only applies if you are in the YouTube partner program when it comes to the copyright stuff. So yeah, you're going to have to be monetized for any of that stuff to start showing up. Let's
Scale
see
train
here.
station. Remember the time I couldn't leave Mexico while I'm in space, and you won't believe what happened.
He gets stuck up there. They're like okay, only three astronauts or only three people in space have ever been stuck, and you're one of them.
He's orbiting space. Yeah, they're running out of oxygen and food up there.
Yeah, we're hanging out here during the live stream, and I've just got one camera like pointing into space.
Right,
and I'm like, yeah, there's D up there. He's passing by everybody, getting ready to pass by.
Right. If you look up there and zoom in with your iPhone, you can see the little dot going.
Yeah, right. I love it.
God. No, seriously. Okay, real talk. How much would you pay to go up there? Like, what do you think is an affordable amount? Where you're like, I'm doing it.
Probably somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000.
Yeah. I was thinking 10,000.
I know in Russia, I don't know if you still can, but I know probably 20 years ago, you could pay $10,000 and they would take you up on one of the planes or whatever over there for like 10,000. It's not the same.
Skipper. No, I want to go up I want to do the whole
I want to float for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else wants to go into space?
Yeah.
Is it technically space though? It's not like.
Yeah, it's like low Earth orbit. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah. But still, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Like the fact
semantics. Or technicality, not semantics.
All I want to do is go up there and prove that the Earth is flat.
Right.
That's all I need to do.
Yeah.
Is prove that there's not actually a curve.
Yep.
And that they're just using fancy lenses to make that happen. That's all I need to do.
Yep.
And be weightless.
Right.
No, I think it'd be pretty awesome to go up there and just I want to see that curve. I want to see the glow. I would love to see the aurora borealis over the. Or I don't know if you would see that from up there. I guess it depends on where it happens from. Yeah. I would love to see stars from up there. That would just be incredible.
It would be incredible.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Hey, and really quick, I just dropped my link in here to TikTok, so make sure that you go over there and follow. If you have a TikTok account, go follow me over on TikTok right now. Just take 1 second and go over there and hit that button.
No, I have not seen Black Sky.
Yeah, I'm live streaming over there too. I live streamed over there yesterday. It was great. I had the max viewership was 3. I think I had 4 for a moment. It was nice though. It's kind of starting new. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So next up,
hold on. We have some people in here that are afraid to fly in an airplane.
Oh, really?
Hell no, I'm afraid to even fly in an airplane. I saw somebody else say that too. Listen, the best way to get over flying in an airplane, the fear, is just flying in an airplane.
Yeah.
I used to hate flying. I was terrified of flying. But then I started doing long distance trips, like flying over to Asia and flying from like the U.S. down to like Brazil and stuff like that. Once you're in a plane for like 8 hours or something like that, a couple of times, you're just like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. Yeah, it broke me really fast.
Yeah, Alex says that TikTok is banned. You're trying to make us criminals. Nick, no, it's not banned yet. I mean, depending on where you are.
Is it banned now?
Depending on where you are. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I think we have until like June or July or something like that, I think.
Did they extend it?
Yeah.
I don't even keep track because it won't be banned here.
So. Next up, we've got Steve Adams Stories is our next question. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They have a short story channel. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and be a full-time creator. And the question is, since YouTube tends to favor live streams in terms of discoverability, would it be beneficial to convert one of my existing story videos into a continuous 24/7 stream using a streaming service, running it for approximately 2 weeks? Could this approach help boost initial impressions and views in the first couple of weeks after release? Given that my stories require significant time to write and produce as videos, typically only allowing uploads once every month or two, I'm looking into effective strategies to maintain consistent channel growth despite the lower posting frequency. The best thing you can do for that consistent channel growth is to make sure that every video that you do put out is a home run. Right. So when you put a video out and you're needing to rely on a bunch of, other things to, bring attention to it, then that means that the video content needs more attention. Right. Now, when it comes to live streaming in terms of discoverability, when you first go live, it can be very advantageous, but that's still going to be dependent on how people do interact once they do go into your live stream. So if you do make it a live stream, but people aren't hanging out in your live stream, they just hit it and they're like, oh, okay, I thought this was something else, and they leave. Then YouTube's going to, it's not going to have the same discoverability as it would if people are coming in and interacting with it a lot. So it's definitely something you can experiment with. You're allowed to do that. YouTube actually has, they have some experiments that they've done also where they've done this on the behalf of creators, and they've used a feature to actually make that possible, to where it basically was just streaming people's content and things like that. I'm not sure how the result worked out for them, but that is something that they have experimented with internally. There's a service called, let's see here, I think it's called Geyer. I don't know how you say it. Give me 1 second. Geyer live streaming.
Beanie loves to take off in an airplane.
Yeah, here it is.
Hey,
yeah,
Sue,
so
how you doing?
Geyer
Nice to
or
see you, Sue.
Geyer Pro. And I don't have like a relationship with these people or anything, like they're not sponsoring me or anything like that, but I just dropped a link to them. So this place is a pretty good 24/7 live streaming place for streaming your pre-recorded videos.
Are you pulling something up?
Yeah, I just put it into the chat.
Oh, I thought you were.
So if you are looking for that solution, if you're still here, if you're looking for that solution, then definitely try that out. So next up on the list here, we have Steve Adams Stories. We did this one already. Do It Now Journey is the name of the next channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do travel and community activity content, and the goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what I like. The question is, don't know if my channel's set up right. Should I change the channel name to Shining D? D is my nickname. Not many views concerned. So in terms of your channel set up right, just go in and make sure you're filling out all of the blanks. So if you go into your YouTube settings, the customization page, you're going to have some options there. In your YouTube settings, you're going to have some options there as well. So just make sure that all of that stuff is set up right. There's also videos on YouTube on how to set up your YouTube channel. I know a really good one is from Justin Brown over at Primal Video. He has a really good video on like starting a new YouTube channel, and that has, all of the information about setting up your channel and all that stuff. I might have one on my channel from a long time ago, but I plan to make an updated version of that relatively soon. It's in my ideas list, but I'm just not there yet for that. So definitely go watch Justin's. But when it comes to setting everything up, just make sure that you do just follow one of those videos. You'll have everything taken care of. But I see on your homepage, you do have, videos up there, and, you have your most recent videos showing up, your popular videos showing up there. You have some shorts showing up there as well. So, you're good in that regard, but just go into your actual settings and make sure that you have everything set up that you need to have set up there. And if you haven't went over to TikTok yet, but you're hanging out in the stream, make sure that you go over to TikTok and you follow me over there. I pinned it at the very top of the chat. So next up.
Are you planning on doing more lives over there?
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to be my kind of like YouTube casual. So it's all like YouTube focused content, but the live streams are going to be more casual, like, just hanging out at home and, showing behind the scenes type of stuff, like, setting up for live streams. I'll probably end up having a camera here for that kind of stuff.
I need to get back to live streaming.
So you need to?
Yeah. I like the casual stuff too. I really enjoyed doing Twitch streams that were just not YouTube related.
Yeah, when you're making music and stuff?
Yeah. I like doing streams where you don't have that pressure of like, don't get me wrong, I love live streaming and connecting with everybody here, but there's a certain level of relaxation that comes when you're just like, hey, I'm just hanging out and doing my thing, versus like, okay, I really need to think this through to give the right answer so I don't steer somebody in the wrong direction. And right, like I don't want to be responsible for causing somebody a problem on YouTube. Right, so there's a certain level of pressure that comes with that. Like when we end, not so much, I'm kind of like a co-pilot. Well, I am a co-pilot. I'm in the passenger seat on this. Like I'm in the back. I'm in the if this were a plane, you be the captain, and I'm in like.
I thought you'd be like ground control. Like, hey, you're a little bit high, a little bit low, a little bit high. Hey, you got to bring it down just a little bit.
Okay.
All right, you got to bring it up a little bit.
Okay. Instead of being the captain,
hey, here comes another plane. Watch out.
Right. Instead of being the captain of my own stream, where I'm worried about getting the passengers safe, right there. Yeah. If this were a plane, you'd be the captain, and I'd be the Somali.
No, that's a boat. Somalian?
No, Somalian. But from Somalia. Who are the
Somalians?
Somalians. I'd be the Somalian.
They're pirates.
That hid in the wheel well of the plane.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know how they hide in the wheel well and then they go.
All right.
That's where I would be in this. So I don't have the pressure here. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's a long way to just say that you really enjoy a Twitch stream.
I was trying to like give some perspective of how little pressure I have in this stream versus my own stream.
Oh, okay.
And that was the best kind of long answer.
It worked though.
And I figure like a pirate hanging out in a wheel well of a jet
We
airplane.
lost like 40 viewers during all that. So I'm just kidding. All right. So
I'm not the captain. I don't care.
You're like, don't care. I'm falling out of the wheel well. Whatever.
I'm hanging on for dear life over here. I don't care.
So the empowered homeowner is our next channel here. They upload one time per week or more. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, we're learning more about shorts and how they help improve long-form videos now. Do you have any recent experience with utilizing shorts to grow your channel and it positively affecting your long-form? So one thing that shorts can do is they can bring attention to long-form content. They are also good for just bringing attention to your channel, in general. However, something that content creators are constantly trying to do is use shorts as a way to get people to the long form content. But when you're doing that, like, yes, that's something that you can do. But when you're doing that, kind of a problem with that is you are not thinking about the person that is in YouTube Shorts that is actually in YouTube Shorts because they want to be in YouTube Shorts. And they're in that mode right now where they're wanting to watch that short form content. So yes, you can, send people over, but when you're trying to do that, just think from the perspective of like, okay, if somebody's watching this shorts video, how can I just make a great shorts video for them so that the people that are a qualifier for my channel, that they're going to watch this and they're going to be like, wow, this is awesome. And then they're going to want to go and check you out because of that, not necessarily because you've tried to convince them to go to your channel in some way, right? So for example, like there's this tool that came out recently, and the whole tool is designed to retarget all of your related shorts videos to a long form video, right? So it's a way to just kind of point everything in that direction. I don't think that people should be using that tool because when it comes to that, targeting every single short that you have towards a video could be sending a lot of people to the wrong video. Right? Because, when you put up YouTube Shorts, they may or may not be directly related to that video that you're linking everything to. So because of that, with that particular tool, I wouldn't even necessarily, use that, for that particular reason, unless you are super niche down. If you're super niche down, then, then it'll be helpful for you, doing that sort of thing, possibly. But if you're not just super, super niche down, just be careful, using that kind of stuff. Next up, we've got Nostalgia. There you go. We got here. Nostalgia. Here we are.
Yep.
We've got you. Yep. Right here, Nostalgia. Yep. So we've got you. We're right here at your question.
We've got you.
Nostalgia uploads one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 1 year. They have a motivational channel. The question is, should I post now or wait until the strike is over as my efforts are worthless? I lost advanced features 2 times. And YouTube thinks that I'm spam, scam, or something. How to overcome this whole situation. So let's see here. Channel has a copyright strike, but they're also saying that I violated community guidelines because you did. So
what did they do to violate them?
Says views dropped from 13,000 to barely 50. Reach decreased heavily. However, I'm not too big of a creator, but honestly, my hard work in this channel, despite being a student, my English is not too good. Okay. So if you're getting copyright strikes and community guideline strikes, that means that you're breaking the rules on YouTube. And because of that, your channel's probably, looked at as like a high risk channel right now because you are continually breaking rules. So a couple of things. So you have community guideline strike and you have some copyright strikes. Yeah, like you're really towing the line here on like possibly losing your YouTube channel and the ability to create new channels in the future. So a couple things I would do is I would look into what got you the community guideline strike, and I would delete any videos that risk that again. I would look at what got you a copyright strike, and I would delete any videos that risk that. And then I would actually just start a new channel if it was me, because, historically you are, kind of...
high risk?
High risk, yeah. Like, they might not care, but like where you're at right now, you don't have, like your channel, you're at 164 subscribers right now and 33 videos. And I know that you don't want to start over because I know it's hard to get 134 subscribers or 164 subscribers. But, if you are having an issue and you think that issue is because of the, copyright thing and the community guidelines thing, then in that case, it might be worth starting a new channel. One thing that I can tell you, though, is I'm looking at your channel right now, and I see out of the videos that you have here, like you've got a Batman thing here. You've got a, what's that Creaky Blinders show? Peaky, Sneaky? I don't know.
Something, yeah, I don't know.
But you're using them in your thumbnail here, and then I hover over this, and there's like a cartoon playing, so it's not even related to them. You have this GTA stuff here, which that's okay. Yeah, so slowed reverb. Yeah, and you have like a music, like you're doing music here, and then you're doing different stuff over here. So yeah, like the very first thing that here's what I recommend. So let's kind of pull away from the question.
Yep.
So feel free to continue going on this channel. It's possible that the copyright strike and the community guideline strike are not the culprit here. It's very possible that you just had a good video and then the other videos just people aren't responding well to, right? That's also possible. So the very first thing is just acknowledge that could be the case. Go into your videos that you do have published on your channel and just look and see how people responded to them. So YouTube gives us stats for every video that we publish to YouTube. So go in and look in there and be like, okay, how many impressions are these getting? You can see the impressions. Go and look and see the click-through rate. Go in and look and see your audience retention. And I know you're not getting a lot of views on these. Some of them, you've got like 3.8 thousand views and 1,001 view. So that gives you some information that you can kind of go off from for videos that have had over 1,000. But basically go in and look and see how people are responding to the decisions that you're making. Because a lot of times creators will blame YouTube. And don't get me wrong, you are in that kind of gray area right now because you have copyright strikes and you have a community guideline strike. So because of that, it is possible that YouTube's like, hey, let's kind of limit this a little bit. But when it comes to, the reality of being a content creator, it's also possible that you're just swinging and missing, so to speak, right? So because of that, I would just make sure that you're looking at your content first. But if I was at 160 something subscribers and I had already ranked up like community guideline strikes and copyright claims and all that, if it was copyright strikes, I would be worried about it. If it was copyright claims, I wouldn't care as much. But in that situation, if it was me, I would create an entirely new Google account and I would start from scratch. And the reason for that is because I would just want to make sure that everything is clean on my channel and that when I'm publishing content, that I don't have to worry about any of those things. That's what I would do. When it comes to you can take whatever path that you want. But and it's possible that YouTube, like I said, it's possible that there's no problem with YouTube here, that it's just based on some of the decisions that you're making. That is very, very possible.
Yeah, but you need to figure out what you did wrong in order to get the community.
Yeah, to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because here's the reason that I'm saying to start a new channel. It's not necessarily because of anything that might be happening on YouTube side, because it's very possible that they're not punishing you in any way, shape, or form. That's actually more possible than if they were punishing you. But the reason I'm telling you this is because you already have those things, and if you get 3 within a 90-day period, then they can nuke your whole channel. And if they nuke your whole channel based on their terms of service, you're not allowed to start a new YouTube channel. That's why I said go through and figure out, like Dee mentioned also, go through and figure out exactly why you got those strikes. And then if you have content on the channel now that has those also, like get them off of there, because you don't want to get those penalties again. Because if, again, all you need is 3 in 90 days and you're cooked.
Yeah. So you mentioned that English is not your first language. So if you, I don't know what you speak. Hey, Roberto Blake. How you doing, man?
Roberto Blake in the house. What's up, dude? Roberto
Yeah.
Blake, author, create something awesome. Got a link to this in the description, or just go to Amazon and then look for create something awesome. Roberto Blake here is going to teach you how to make money on YouTube. Looks like this. Go ahead, D.
Yeah. I was just going to say, you said English is not your first language. So you try to go in and have your settings set to where YouTube is giving you information on your own language. And if they're not, copy and paste what they're saying about, your community guideline strike or whatever. Put that into the free version of ChatGPT and ask us, hey, can you explain this to me in my own language? Like, I don't understand this. What does it mean? How can I not do this again? Use ChatGPT to help you identify what the problem actually is and explain it to you in a manner that you understand what you did. Mm-hmm. So if you do start that second channel, that it doesn't happen again.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get caught in that pattern where you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And then, because they'll eventually boot you out of there.
Yep. Hey, if this is for your channel or something, Ian, yeah, man, hit me up on email. So just go to my About Me page and then shoot me an email through the contact on my About Me page. So let's see here. So next up, we've got, hey, and make sure if you haven't yet, go follow me over on TikTok. Come on, guys. Go follow me over on TikTok. So we've got, let's see, we did nostalgia. So next up, we've got the links pinned at the top of the screen right now. So we've got Her Heel Review, uploads 1 time per week or more. They do film and TV review content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what I like. And the question is, I use Opus Clip, but I know that I need to work on clip farming more. As a review channel, I don't always script. Any tips for using Opus more successfully and pulling more clips to get your money's worth? That's a great question. So with Opus Clip, they have a editing feature. So make sure that you're going into there, because sometimes you can like preview a clip and you can be like, that's not really one that I'm going to use probably. But if you click into it, because they have the editing option, you can actually go in, you can add like the beginning of the video from like another part of the video. So you can add like an intro to it, you can add an outro to it, and they have editing features where you can start it sooner or, bring it in to tighten it up a little bit. Like they have all of these features in there that will help you, be able to get the most out of every single clip. You're just going to have to take that time to go in there and make those adjustments for the ones that you're like, okay, this one, they didn't knock it out of the park with this particular clip, but they did with these others. So because of that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to modify this particular clip so I can make sure that I can use this one too. Because how their system works now, like it's a totally different thing than it used to be when they first came out. So just as a heads up, if you've tried Opus Clip in the past and you're like, didn't really nail it with my content, they've made so many advancements and they fine-tuned their AI so much that it's just knocking it out of the park now. So because of that, go in and try it again. But in your case specifically, like you can use every single clip that they make, but you just might have to go in and make an adjustment to it, right? Because their system is like, hey, this one's probably going to be good. And then, most of the time it'll get it right, but every now and then it'll be off. And for those ones where it's off, you can go in and you can adjust it so that it is right. So you can definitely do that, but just learn how to use the editing features, and then you'll be able to get value out of every single clip it produces.
Next.
Hey, no sweat at all. Yeah, because I'm talking about YouTube over there too. So yeah, only follow if you're interested in getting more YouTube content.
Sorry, I don't follow on TikTok.
So next up,
I just saw, I opened up YouTube here, and I haven't seen it yet. Do you know there's a new Tron movie coming out?
Oh, no.
Tron, the next Tron.
Nice.
Okay, now we're gonna see here, and don't spoil it for him. So Daft Punk did a phenomenal soundtrack for Tron 2. Phenomenal. But they broke up. Oh. So they're not doing Tron 3 soundtrack. Who could possibly?
Hans Zimmer?
No, but that's a good one.
That would be good.
When you're thinking, who could possibly be up to par to making a soundtrack as good as Daft Punk for Tron?
I have no idea.
Come on.
I don't know.
Hans Zimmer was a good guess.
Yeah.
Come on.
Man, as good as Daft Punk. I have no idea. No idea.
9 Inch Nails.
Really?
Yeah. Trent Reznor is going to do the soundtrack.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. He'll probably be able to match that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but add like his own like crazy.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Yeah, I saw the thing on here. I had it playing quietly, and it was like I was like, of course, 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
I was thinking, who's going to do the soundtrack?
Yeah, Dead Mouse would be good too. Yeah, good call, Roberto. Yeah, that would be good too.
Yeah. I was like, who? 9 Inch. There it is. That makes total sense.
This is an interesting question here. So Wallace Bankley says, is there a difference between a fan and a follower? Yep. A follower taps a button. That's it. A fan actually comes in, they interact with your stuff, they're showing up all the time, they're watching a lot of your videos. The super fans, right, that's a whole level up. So with the super fans, like they're like buying your merch, they're like telling other people about you. When you do like special things around your content, like they're showing up for that, if they can, like those types of things. So yeah, there's absolutely a difference.
Yeah. Fan or follower, fan, super fan.
Yeah.
And stalker.
Yeah. Stalker. And not interested. Yeah, there's those two. Yeah. So next up on the list here, we've got Shama MD. They upload every other day. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do Christian content creator is the type of channel. The question is, not sure what I'm doing, but willing to try and not give up. I'm struggling at present. And the additional information, she's not sure what I'm doing. I did one video 1 year ago, starting of the new year, and I feel more inspired to create AI faceless videos and also on screen, like bringing it to life. So yeah, so a lot of people are doing, AI, faceless content right now. It seems like an easy path, but one thing that D always says about this, and I totally agree, is that if you're making AI content, like you still got to make good content, and if you still don't know what good content is, then in that case, it's still not, going to do well. But if you do know what good content is, then it, can do well. And yes, you can publish videos, and sometimes, you can have a video do well, but to be able to consistently have videos do well, that's the trick, right? So because of that, explore it. Right. It's just one more avenue, and you're going to get hate for it all over the place because a lot of people are like, oh, AI content, blah, blah, blah. But people respond to it. Like I mentioned a couple streams ago, I was hanging out with my mom, and my mom was watching AI generated video after AI generated video after AI generated video. So, people didn't either one. I don't know. But it's like, video after video. So it's like, people are watching it and enjoying it. So there's some AI videos with like millions and millions and millions of views on them. So, people enjoy them if we like them or not. As creators, if we feel threatened to buy them or not, people, still do respond to them. Like I was just telling D while we were eating today that after the Pope passed, that somebody made an AI video of the Pope hanging out with Jesus. They did a fantastic job with that particular video, and it's got millions of views all over like every platform. Like they did such a good job with it, and they were like, I'm assuming they're one of the first to market, with it. Right. But like people, enjoy that kind of stuff. But in their case, they did it really well. Right. So you have to be able to do it really well. And a lot of people, when it comes to the AI generated stuff, they'll, use like a service to where you just type in a text prompt and then it spits out the whole thing. Yeah. Those are okay. Some of those get views too. Yeah. But, you're thinking more at scale and you're thinking more volume so that you can be taking more swings so that you have a higher chance of having more home runs. Yeah.
I think if you're going to use AI generated content, you don't have experience as a creator, by all means, use it. Yeah. Like you said, it allows you to take more swings. Yep. It allows you to move faster. Yep.
And it's still an opportunity. You can still get monetized.
It's still an opportunity. But at the same time, I would urge you to try to learn how to do some things yourself that are not AI related so you can learn how to identify, okay, AI generated this, and it's really not that good. Mm-hmm. It's not that good.
Yep. So let me do another generation so it can be better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
let me edit this a little bit and it'll be like 10 times better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You need to learn how to get an eye for when AI.
For now, anyway.
For now.
Wait 6 months, you'll probably be okay.
Right. Right. Yeah. Have the conversation again in 6 months, and it's like, well, we're out of a job.
Right.
How you doing, AI Nick?
Right. Right. Hey, I did make an avatar.
Did you?
So I have an avatar now.
How does it look?
Yeah, it looks great.
Really?
Oh yeah, it looks fantastic. Yeah, I'll send it to you this coming week.
Great.
But
so
yeah,
we have AI Nick now.
Well, part of the thing is I'm like, okay, so I'm ramping up like my vertical content. So I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and just get an avatar so I can also be producing content with that in terms of like intros and things like that. So I can show screens or whatever. But then I can also have like a little intro going on there too with my avatar. Like, why not?
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we'll see.
Did you clone your voice yet in 11 Labs?
I haven't. No, I didn't do 11 Labs. I did do Hey Jen. Yeah, I heard yours, and you couldn't tell the difference.
It's
great.
pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah, mine's pretty good. And I didn't even give it all. It wanted like I forget
3 hours.
It wanted like 3 hours of my voice.
Yeah,
I gave it, I don't know, 30 minutes or 40. I didn't give it all the 3 hours, and it did a fantastic job. Yeah. And hearing it coming back, knowing that I didn't say it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like.
So Hey Jen, their avatar is good, but their voice isn't that great. So it's okay, but it can sound like a little bit robotic at times. So I'm going to do the 11 Labs too. Yeah.
Yeah. It took quite a while to do it.
But yeah, it's just for experimenting. So I'll create like a whole new channel, like with that for talking about like other stuff and like whatever. Like, yeah, I'll have all kinds of fun with the avatar.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, learn the skills.
Yep.
You know, learn all the skills so you can identify what's good, what's not good.
Yep.
Because that's part of the process.
Yep. Dylan Trades.
Good.
Dylan Trades is our next channel. They do daily content, but on YouTube for less than a month. They do stock technical analysis. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I noticed posting videos about a few stocks in particular, I get more views than all of them. Should I double and triple down on that and get really niche? So one thing that helps you identify is that you know what it is that the people that are watching your type of content are responding well to, or at least the people that YouTube is recommending your content to right now, what it is that they respond well to. So having those as a regular occurrence in your content strategy is definitely smart. If you're going to double down on just making content about those stocks or not, that's going to be your call to make, because if you do, that can, kind of pigeonhole you a little bit, where another approach that you could take is to say, okay, over the next 30 or 90 days, 30, 60 or 90 days, I'm going to be publishing X amount of videos. Out of these videos I'm going to be publishing, then I'm going to try to, it's going to be dependent, I'm sure, on how the stock performs, but I'm going to try to talk about this stock at least X amount of times over that particular period, because I know people typically respond well to it. So I'm going to make sure to include it, but I'm also going to be talking about these other stocks that a lot of people are interested in, so I can also start pulling those people in, as well. So when it comes to that sort of thing, one thing to think about is you have like general stock advice where you're just giving people like general, information that can be helpful all the way around. I would consider some of that as like one of your pillars. And then you have the stocks that people are currently responding to. Keep in mind when it comes to that, when you talk about another stock, if the people don't have this stock, then they might not care, which is why having some of the general content can be advantageous, because then you can still bring people in based on your thoughts, opinions, or proofs on the stock market as a whole, whereas or just things they can do to be able to do things easier or understand things better or whatever. And then you have that content that you can kind of depend on, that you've got that audience, and because of that, you make sure that you include them over that 30, 60, or 90 day period. But yeah, like when you have something going well, like doubling down on it is definitely, a strategy. But just make sure that if you do decide to go that route, instead of, creating these additional pillars of content, make sure that, you will have enough content to talk about for a long period of time, or else you'll have this swell and then it'll just kind of, you have the potential that it could possibly, just kind of die down. That's why diversifying a little bit while still serving that same audience can be a good play. All right. So really quick, Road Reality says, hey, Nick, I recently reached 4,000 subscribers, and someone told me that YouTube gives you a boost. Any truth to that? My jump from 4K to 4.1 was fast. No. So YouTube doesn't boost your channel, so to speak. So one thing they do have is if you consistently put out good content, you consistently, just give good content. As long as you keep putting out good content, then YouTube's going to continue to show people, and they can kind of expect. Let me do it this way. Like, YouTube can start to know that it's likely that if you publish a video that people are going to respond well to it. And because of that, it can kind of, help you there a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you put out a garbage video, it's still going to be a garbage video. And if people don't respond well to it, then it's still going to tank. But let's talk about the bigger thing here, which is, it's not that you gained 4,000 subscribers that makes things different for you in terms of going from 4,000 to 4,100 faster. It's more that you have an archive of content now. So when you first start the channel, you've got one video working for you. And then you publish 10 videos. Now, out of those 10 videos, let's say you have 2 or 3 or 4 that are consistently bringing in a viewer a day, or 2 viewers a day, or 10 viewers a day, depending on the videos, 1,000 viewers a day, whatever. But you have those videos that are bringing in regular viewers every day. And then you publish, 20 videos. Now you've got like 8 of those videos that are bringing viewers every day, and so on and so forth. And that keeps on going because you have this inventory of content that when people are interested in these different subjects and YouTube detects it, then they recommend your videos to them and they come in and they enjoy it. They subscribe to your channel, grows your channel, so on. So basically what's happening is you went from not having a lot of content on your channel to now I've got content and an audience that enjoys my content, which also helps because YouTube knows who to show your content to and all that stuff, because it has that history now of knowing who it is that likes your content. So now you have those, like an archive that's working on your behalf, and YouTube, is like, hey, when people watch this video on the channel, they also end up responding well to this one. And then when we recommend this one from the archive, they also respond well to this. So YouTube also has its own chain, so to speak, of videos that it's showing to people that are interacting with your videos. So because of that, it's your archive that does it, not necessarily YouTube giving you any type of like extra promotion or anything like that.
It's actually a good answer. That one comes up a lot. Like when they hit certain milestones, they get a boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also like myths out there, like, once you reach 10,000, then like everything's like easier. Once you reach 100,000, like, but at the end of the day, you got to make good videos no matter what.
Yep.
Period. And if you don't,
no matter what.
Yep. And if you don't, then it's going to hurt. Yep. And remember, when it comes to YouTube, I think it's like 87%. I know Roberto's got this number too, but I think it's like 87% of the videos on YouTube don't get more than 1,000 views. It's either 100 or 1,000. I think it's 60-something% don't get more than 100, and then it's 80. I think it's 87%.
87%
don't get more than 1,000 views.
Hold on.
So if you're getting 100 views on a video, you're doing awesome.
80%, 87% of the videos
you can do
YouTube
better, but you're doing awesome.
Don't break 1,000 views.
Right?
Or really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, Roberto says milestones boost confidence and reflect a skill improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow,
so
that's a
next up,
crazy number if you think about it.
It is, and when you have those videos, you're like, man, that way underperformed. Like, well, did it? Compared to the rest of the videos on your channel, but like, compared to YouTube as a whole,
I've always thought it was weird, and this has happened to me too, where you have your baseline of where you think your video should be, especially if you've hit that baseline before. And then you fall under that baseline, whatever the view number is. Let's just say it's 1,000 views. Mm-hmm. And you fall under that. Maybe you upload a video and you only get 500 views, mm-hmm. right? Notice I said only 500 views. And you think, wow, that's terrible. And yeah, maybe you could have been better. Maybe your packaging wasn't there, whatever. There's a million things that could have gone wrong. But putting that in the perspective of that's still 500 people that at least listen to a few seconds of what you had to say.
Yeah.
And then, you can dig that even deeper and say out of the 500 people, maybe 75 of those people sat through the entire thing. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty incredible.
It is.
Because if I went out into the street and just put up a box or a chair and stood on it and just started saying the same thing, I'd get like 4 people to hang out.
Yep.
Even at a YouTube event,
mm-hmm.
like what I might get 20 people
right
at a YouTube event.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I just think it's easy to lose perspective. I'm guilty of it myself.
Next up, we've got Creator Ambition is the name of the channel. I've been on YouTube for less than a year. The type of channel says I make YouTube videos to help YouTubers. The goal is to teach others. And the question is, what is your opinion? What is a good idea to post shorts and long form videos on the same day or within a day or two? Have you noticed any lack of long form video performance when you post like that? Thank you. No, but one thing that can happen is when you are publishing a lot of content, you can end up competing, for people on the homepage. However, you're also giving yourself the opportunity to get in front of, additional people too. So because of that, it's all just going to depend on what it is that you're publishing specifically and how people are responding to it. And Roberto Blake says 88% of videos never get 1,000 views. 97% of creators don't have 10,000 subscribers, and that's how harsh it is. Wow. Not saturated with quality and value. Yep.
Those are insane numbers.
They are.
97% of creators don't have 10,000 subscribers.
Yep.
That is wild.
Yep.
Absolutely wild.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we've got Official Severed Soul. uploads 1 time per week or more. Here, hold on real quick. I'm going to go back because I want to open up and subscribe to that YouTube channel here. Let's see here. All right. So, so next up, we've got Official Severed Soul is the name of the channel. They upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for a year or more. Type of channel is information and entertainment, hauntings. Goal of the channel is to quit the job and be a full-time creator. And the question is, I recently returned to talking about haunted places in England as I was getting decent views talking about this previously. I swapped to talking about traditional ghost stories for a while. However, I'm getting nowhere near the amount of views I was despite improving my thumbnails and video edits. Do you know where I'm going wrong? So this is going to sound kind of weird, but sometimes when we improve our video edits, the improvements that we think are an improvement are not always seen as an improvement by the people that are interacting with our videos. So one way that you can tell this is go and compare previous videos against your current videos and look at things like audience retention, that kind of stuff. Make sure you keep impressions in mind. But, when you said that your thumbnails and your video edits are better, just go and see how people are responding to them, because our opinions on like, hey, I think this is better, that's good for deciding if you're going to publish a video or not, that kind of stuff. But once it's on the platform, it all comes down to how people respond to it. Sometimes people think that they're amazing content creators, but at the end of the day, they need a ton of work, right? Yeah. Sometimes people think that they make, they come up with like the best video ideas, or they make great thumbnails, and then, you look at their channel and their thumbnails are horrible and the video ideas, are not that great. So keep in mind when we make content that, we are a bit biased towards what it is that we make. And by default, we're going to think that it's good unless we're hard on ourselves. So, if you want to improve, then we got to make sure we're doing that. But with that said, you might have better edits, you might have better thumbnails. But people, just maybe aren't responding to the topics, maybe your titles, need work. But when you publish and everything is better, then, YouTube, or not YouTube, but people will respond to it better. And once that starts happening, then, YouTube will do its thing. So a couple things to think about. If you were doing horror stories and then you went to ghost stories, I would think there would be some crossover there, or sorry, haunted places. And then you went to ghost stories. I'm not sure how long you've been doing one or the other, but if people were watching that haunted places content, but you don't make it anymore, and or you didn't make it anymore for a while because you're on the ghost stories, and because of that, those people ended up watching your videos, and let's say if those videos aren't still bringing in a bunch of daily viewers and things like that, then what can happen is that those people just kind of fall out of your view history, and because of that, when you publish that video again, those people may or may not, see the video that really responded well to the other content. So because of that, just keep that in mind. But now that you're back to making that content, go in and really analyze the videos that did do well, and just try to replicate that with the with the videos that you're going to be publishing now. Yeah, Beanie says you've changed is sometime a complaint. It is. Yeah, and sometimes it is, sometimes, it is good, and sometimes it's bad. I'm just saying, like you might have made some amazing changes and things might be a lot better. So I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just saying that be mindful that sometimes, people, think that, but, they didn't, that they didn't do it in a way that their audience is responding to better, which is what better is, or how better is represented. There we go.
Everybody changes. They just don't change at the same time, go in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I see that a lot too in comments, not mine, but the people will be like, oh, you fell off, or you've changed, or you're not making the same type of content anymore. So, from a creator's perspective too, especially if you've been doing it for a while, like you have to change. Right. You have to change. You're just going to drive yourself crazy if you're just doing the same thing. And I think that's why a lot of people in the education space in general, a lot of people slow down or just burn out or whatever, because you're just doing the same thing. Right. It's hard to find new ways to kind of keep maneuvering with it.
And other things too, like, okay, let's say you talk about Excel.
Right.
Right. Like you can only talk about Excel like so much. Right. Like you got to really be into Excel. Right. In order to talk about Excel all the time. Right.
And then when they pull the rug on Excel, then what do you do?
Right. Or they stop like updating it as much, or So next up, we've got Tiff's Treasure Studios, uploads 1 time per week or more. They do epoxy resin arts and crafts.
That's cool.
The question is, I just started my channel and I'm about to post my first long video. All right. I posted one short. I record on my phone, and I'm currently using iMovie to do basic editing. Are there any free apps that I can do voiceovers with? Using the YouTube Studio, I was able to add music and subtitles, but I didn't see a voiceover option. Yeah. So free apps
yeah,
for
you
voiceovers.
Can use VN.
Well, okay, so VN.
So
you can also
iPhone,
record directly to your iPhone.
You can record directly into your iPhone. They have apps to do that, and I think they have their own audio app for iPhone specifically. But if you're trying to do it in a video editor, CapCut used to do it, but now CapCut is just making everything paid now. VN, you can do voiceovers with that pretty easily. Does iMovie not have a voiceover?
Not
For
sure.
some reason, I thought they did.
They might. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So a voiceover tool. Interesting. Huh.
Adobe Enhance.
Do they have an app?
I don't know.
Well, they're more for processing, though, not necessarily
no,
recording
you can
directly into it.
record your entire. You can do.
Oh, directly into it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, Adobe
okay,
Enhance.
maybe.
You might have to access it through a browser, but Adobe Enhance, you can record directly into it now. Do the full, like everything. You can do everything inside of it.
Nice.
Record it, do the editing, all of it.
Annie Tro says that a voice memo on iPhone works great.
Voice memo on iPhone. Yeah.
So
that's what I
really
thought too,
quick,
Roberto.
Renee Clancy, thank you for the super chat. Says, wanted to say thank you because of your consistent, valuable advice. My channels are successful now. I appreciate your both. High five and fist bump to you. Love seeing that. Congratulations on your channels. I saw that come in, and then I popped it open, and I saw that this channel right here has 10,000 subscribers on it. So congratulations on you for making that happen. Nice work. High five and fist bump. Love it. Okay, so Roberto says that iMovie does have the voiceover.
That's
as well. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Next up,
might have to dig for it.
We've got English Woodsman uploads 1 time per week or more. The goal is to make money. And the question is, hey, Nick, is having too many topics on a channel a problem? I make camping videos, equipment videos, and outdoor food reviews. I'm looking at making a separate channel for hiking and camping food reviews. Would this be a good idea? So when it comes to the content that you're putting on a channel, the big idea is to think about it through the lens of, it's not that I necessarily have a limit on the content. It's that I need to make sure that whatever it is that I'm putting out is a good fit for the people that I'm trying to reach. So, for example, if you're trying to reach people that are into the outdoors and they're into camping specifically, then in that case, making sure that if you're doing equipment videos, that it is equipment videos about camping. Not like, cameras that you're using and like things like that, but it's more about things that people that are into camping would care about. If you're doing outdoor food reviews, then if you are reaching people that are camping enthusiasts, then in that particular case, making sure that the outdoor food reviews that you're doing are, framed around the context of, hey, if you're camping, you're wanting to get some outdoor food, then this is, these are the best things that you can do. And you frame the whole thing around camping, right? And then when it comes to the hiking and you already got the camping food reviews. But when it comes to the hiking, same exact thing applies in terms of just thinking about it through the lens of like, okay, if somebody's going camping, are they going to be doing a lot of hiking? If so, then how can I make this hiking video also about camping in some way, since those are the people that I'm trying to reach? And with that, you can also, kind of open it up a little bit to where it's like campers and hikers. If there's some crossover there, I'm not sure because I don't do either. But if so, then in that case, you have, you'd be able to make like separate videos there if there's a lot of crossover for that particular type of person. But the idea is to think about it through the lens of, okay, I'm trying to reach this particular type of viewer or these particular type of viewers, and because of that, I just need to confirm that particular type of viewer would be interested in this type of thing, and I need to make sure that however it is that I'm presenting it, I'm also wrapping it around that thing that they are interested in. Right? That's the idea. So it's more about the viewer than it is the niche.
I want to let you know that the official Tim Pete Cruise is back.
Hey, welcome back, Tim.
Yep. You want to get on with the YouTube tips now.
Yeah, we're taking a break there, so now that you're back.
Waiting for Tim to get back. Welcome back.
Love it. So Jay Talks Crypto is next on the list. Uploads one... They've been making videos for 1 year or more. They do finance content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, my channel's down 70% in views since Easter. What should I focus on? Focus on understanding like what's going on with your YouTube channel. Just kind of looking into your traffic sources report, see where your traffic fell off from. And then from there, hopping on some very trending things around crypto right now so that you can, tap into that market. Another thing is that you need to make sure that in your thumbnails, I'm looking at your channel right now. Give me 1 second, and I'm actually going to pull this up.
So this is funny. While you're pulling that up,
yeah.
In the chat here, we have, where'd it go? I'm trying to pull it up. Try it, learn it. 365 says, haha, most of my content is on Microsoft Excel and Word.
Oh, that's funny.
but
do you feel targeted?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to grow and include other 365 products and AI. Yeah.
Nice.
That's hilarious. Like
that's funny.
We just randomly picked that. And like, hey.
That's good.
I feel targeted here.
So let's see here. So next, sorry. So Jay. Okay, man, real quick. So a couple things I just want to bring to your attention here.
Is this Jay from last week?
So first, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay.
Is this Jay is this Jay talking Coachella?
We're going to look at all of these, Jay. So right now, right, because you have in your title, can Toshi reach a billion market? Can Toshi reach? But what I'm trying to bring your attention to right now is look at what's happening in your thumbnails, okay? If we look at your thumbnails, we can see that you're focusing on a candle, which I know that has, like when you're looking at the charts and all of that. But you've got a sleeping cat in here, which might be some insider thing. You've got market update, which might grab attention. And then you have is it time? And then you have yourself, right? So a few different things. There's no clear focus in this thumbnail. It's kind of all over the place. In addition to that, there's nothing about crypto or Toshi here in your thumbnail. If you're trying to reach, to make... to simplify this idea, what you want to do when you're making thumbnails, in your case specifically, is you want to make a thumbnail and you want to pretend the title didn't exist. And then you want to look at it and you want to say, okay, if the only information that somebody had to help them identify that this video has something to do with crypto, what exactly in my thumbnail helps them identify that this has something to do with crypto at a glance, right? That's what you want to do. So right now you just got all this stuff all over the place and there's no clear focus, but there's also nothing here. The market update, that might get them, but you need to be more clear here and make it just stupid obvious that this has something to do with crypto. So instead of market update, maybe use crypto market update, right? Instead of having all of this stuff in here for the sake of filling up space, don't do that. When it comes to YouTube, less is more. So what you want to think about is, one, if I didn't have a title with this, how does my thumbnail help people that are into crypto know that this has something to do with crypto, and make your thumbnails based on that idea. And then what you want to do is you want to say, okay, when I'm adding crypto to all of these things, or I'm adding that type of messaging to my thumbnails, is there anything else that I'm adding that is distracting them from seeing that it has something to do with crypto at a glance? So for example, like this cat that's laying here, or, this over here, are these things distracting them from the thing that matters to them? Because what you're trying to do with all of this is you're trying to make it easy. So if I'm on my phone, right, and I'm into crypto and I'm sitting here and I'm scrolling through YouTube and I'm on my mobile device and I'm sitting here and I'm looking through here, what I want is to see something, right? If I'm into crypto, I want to see something that has to do with crypto. Just as an example here, let me go full screen with this. Just to put this into an example.
This is a
Hold on.
guide.
Nope.
And copyright.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm claiming it.
But like this guy, right? Like this one right here, he has a chat GPT icon in there.
Can't see it.
And it grabbed, you can't see it, okay. But anyway, it grabbed my attention immediately, right? Because I'm scrolling through and I'm like, boom, ChatGPT logo. This has something to do with AI. I'm messing with all that stuff right now like everybody else. And that helps me identify that this has something to do with something that I care about. This one right here for CapCut, same exact thing. It has After Effects and CapCut. I don't know if you can see that either, but same exact thing. So if I'm into CapCut, this helps me be able to quickly and easily identify that this has something to do with CapCut. Very well, designed. But using words that are associated with what it is that you're doing is going to be the move there, in imagery that's associated with what it is that you're doing. If you can do that, that's going to help you better connect with the people that are already interested in your content. So everybody here should start thinking that way. When you make thumbnails, think about it like, okay, if I didn't have my title, how would this help the people that I'm trying to reach identify that this is about something that matters to them? That's what you want to think about. Driver Sensei, thanks for the super chat. It says, hey, are we hypothesizing a creator should get monetized with a few long form vids easier just to protect their short form from being copied? I mean, not really. I mean, whatever path is the best for you and what you're trying to do. So, for some people, they're really good at making shorts, but they suck at making thumbnails or they suck at making long form content, and they can get monetized through shorts. Other people just can't make a short to save their life. And because of that, they have a hard time getting any traction at all in shorts, and therefore they leverage long form content in order to get monetized and be able to do that thing. So it really comes down to, what you can make that people respond to the most, and if what you're making is also has the potential to, to be received well by a large amount of people if it is a short.
Hey Jay,
because you're going to need that. It's got to be relatively broad in nature in order to just get crushed in YouTube Shorts.
Jay, I wouldn't say your thumbnails are lacking. They lack clarity.
Yeah.
They're actually really colorful.
Yeah.
They're colorful.
Yeah.
I think you have a general idea of how to put things together. They just lack that immediate clarity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, like, okay, if this were to show up in somebody's feed, then how does my thumbnail help them instantly know that this has something to do with crypto? So in your case,
just immediately without thought.
Yeah, because you were talking about Toshi with in the titles of those videos. So whatever logo that is, like put it in your thumbnails. Yeah. So then at the very least, they're gonna be able to identify that. Yeah. Right.
A symbol, a logo, whatever.
Something. Yeah.
Whatever Toshi.
Right. Like so for where you had that candle, like those types of things are clever, right? Because I know what you're referencing there. So that's clever. However, it's not clear, right? So because of that, like replace that candle with whatever the Toshi logo is.
Oh, I think Toshi is that cat.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think it's
okay. Then put that cat there, right? Put that cat where the candle is, right? Yeah. It is the cat. Okay. Then put that cat where the candle is. That cat should be the most prominent thing in there if it's going to help the people that if everybody that is involved with Toshi knows that cat has something to do with Toshi, make that Toshi. Put it where the candle is, right? Put it in that front and center position where that is the thing that grabs attention.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for, right? Okay, next, we've got Living My Next Chapter. They do retirement content, and the question is, the advice given is to have, Can I show something really quick? Yeah.
Yeah, Jay, I'm not saying copy this. I just want to show you. I just did because I wanted to see what the Toshi logo was. Mm-hmm. And I just want to show you the simplicity. And I'm not saying copy this, but I'm going to show you just how easy it is to identify in this. Give me 1 second here.
Hey, really quick, plumbing inspired by James Golden says, I like this advice for for thumbnail creation. So since you do plumbing content, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Roger Wakefield or not, but I really encourage you to go check out his YouTube channel and watch what he does. So he started out doing like search-based plumbing content, and that got him, got his feet wet, got him, with some momentum. But then he kind of switched what he was doing a little bit, made some adjustments, and then completely blew up his channel. So I recommend that you go and you just kind of look at his channel, see what he's doing. Go look at his channel history, right? Go to his videos tab and look at, from his videos oldest to newest, and just kind of see the path that he's taken and see, if you can, be inspired by that at all.
Yeah, so let me put this on the screen right now. So very clearly, just in terms of the Toshi logo.
Crystal clear.
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
And so once I knew what the Toshi logo was, I just did a quick search, and that just, I immediately made that identification. And I don't know anything about Toshi, but once I realized that's the logo, when I just did an image search in Google, this showed up, and it's a YouTube thumbnail. And immediately my eyes went right to it from that identification. Like, oh, I know what Toshi is.
Yep.
So just something to think about in terms of just driving your eyes right to the thing that matters.
So Living My Next Chapter is the next question. They say the advice given is to have an email that you share on your channel pages. Your contact info should be different from the one that you registered your channel under. So if your channel's name is ABC, is making ABC at Gmail your channel's email a security risk? Yes. Or would it be better to make your public email and making your channel's email not easily derived from your channel name? That's also good. Yeah. So basically anything that you can do to misdirect somebody for them being able to easily access your YouTube channel is the thing that you want to do. So the best practice for that is you have a public facing email and then you have like a private email, and then you, for the public facing emails for viewers and for brands to reach out to you, and then you can filter it from there if you want to. So like the approach that I take is I have my public facing email. Once something comes into there, then they get filtered based on, you know, what it is. So if it's like a brand that I'm probably never going to work with, then in that case, I'll just, you know, respond to them and do all the interactions there. Or if it's somebody that maybe I will, whatever. But if it's like, yeah, I'm probably going to, you know, work with them, or I want to just deepen this connection, then I move them over into a more priority email. And then from there, if I actually start working with them, then in that case, you know, they'll go into a VIP. If I go to events, like let's say I go to Vid Summit and I'm hanging out with creators there, then in that particular case, once I know somebody, then I'll give them my VIP email address, which is basically people that I know personally, or people that, you know, that I've, you know, connected with in some way. So for example, if somebody's like, hey, you know, come on my podcast or something like that, then in that particular case, you know, if I go on the podcast, we end up hanging out and we seem to get along, then in that case, they'll probably get my VIP email too. So that's kind of the structure that I use. Next up, we've got...
Jay, you're going to have to test that thumbnail between putting yourself in it.
Yeah, if you put yourself in it or not, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so advantages of putting yourself in it. So first is that when it comes to YouTube thumbnails, like people, you know, faces do grab attention, right? Because people like to, you know, connect with people. However, it can also turn people off from clicking on a thumbnail too. But let's talk about advantages. So first, advantages is people connect with people. So because of that, having a person can be advantageous in some cases. In addition to that, if you have people, because you have like 40-something thousand subscribers on your channel, so because of that, you have people that know who you are. So when you put yourself in your thumbnails, at least when you first publish the video, it can be advantageous for helping people just identify that the video is yours, so that people that enjoy your content can come in and watch it. And then from there, that's where you use YouTube's A/B testing feature if you want to start experimenting from that point forward. Let's say like 7 days later and then 30 days later, to where you go and you start running tests then, so that you can figure out how different audiences that may not be as familiar with you respond to what it is that you're doing. Edit the Vision is the next channel here from Catherine Jung. Nice. She's been on this channel for less than a month. And the goal of the channel is to quit their job and be a full-time creator. And says, let's see here, any advice for how to go about it? Oh, okay. So how are ways that I can storytell? I want to share my stories. What advice do you give for something like this? If the channel is brand new, I want to create cinematic videos of storytelling, but also make videos on how I made them with the edits. So I actually have, I talk about this in a little detail in one of the videos that I published a few months ago about how small channels can blow up in 2025. I recommend that you watch that video for a bunch of different reasons when you're starting in on this type of content on a new channel. Watch the entire video and make sure you kind of take notes on it. I've gotten a lot of really great feedback on that channel, or on that particular video. So I would watch that because I do go into some specifics there. But when it comes to telling stories through your content, I also recommend that you do watch Hayden Hellier-Smith, because he's also going to, you know, show you how to put all that stuff together through the editing perspective as well. There's also a channel that I shared last week that has a really good video about script writing. I recommend that you check him out as well. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but if you go to YouTube search and you type in, let's see here, how to write video scripts for YouTube. Let's try that. See if he shows up here. I'm just going to look for him because I know what it looks like.
I haven't been recommended his stuff for a long time.
But there's a ton of videos just on like writing scripts. But there's one guy, and that's not it. I can't find it right now. But basically, there's one guy that made a video on. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, go watch this. Also, I'm just going to drop it in here for you. This is a pretty good video that just shares some good insights on script writing. It's like an hour and 28 minutes long. So, you know, all this stuff is going to take time to consume, because my video, I think, is almost 30 minutes, and then his video is like an hour and a half. So you're looking at like 2 hours of time here. But by the time you're finished with that, as long as you're taking notes, you should have a nice, clear path on what to do. And Roberto says, The how I made it is content that I would make for members only people. Oh yeah. So he gave you some additional information there. So basically, that how I made it edit content is something he'd put under the members area, and then have the other content as like your main content. Yeah, it's good. Really good. That's why Roberto's the man.
Yep.
Yep. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Hope that you got some value out of the stream today. A couple things. First, if you are a content creator who is just running into walls, so to speak, and when you publish videos, things just aren't going the way that you would hope they would go right now, I encourage you to just hang in there. Like, YouTube is a learning curve, like anything else that you're going to do. Because of that, embrace the learning curve. It's really easy to look at videos on YouTube that have millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views or thousands of views and be like, oh man, why are they getting that and I'm not, and get discouraged by it. But just keep in mind that because it is a learning curve, you just have to kind of walk through the fire in order to, get those results sometimes. So because of that, the thing that I recommend that you do more than anything is work on understanding who it is that you're reaching with your content and get really clear on your goals. And then from there, work on the skill sets involved with being a content creator, storytelling, making thumbnails, coming up with good video topics, coming up with good titles, putting your videos together in a way that people respond to well and all of that. Like, all of those things take a lot of learning. So I just recommend that you focus on those things the most, because when it comes to growing your YouTube channel, tons of videos out there, they're going to tell you to turn on this switch or turn on that switch or check this or uncheck this or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your skills that are going to, move that needle for you the most. Those things can be helpful, but it's those skills that are going to move the needle for you the most. So make sure that you're focusing on those things. And also, I do have links down in the description of a bunch of helpful tools and resources for you. So make sure that you do check those out. Make sure you check out Opus Clip as well. So that they can help you get the most out of your content. And just remember, this stuff is hard, but if we can do this, you can definitely, do this YouTube thing. So hang in there. You got this, D.
Yeah, great stream. Valentine's Station. Love that random Rambo quote.
Nice. Yep. It's never over. Yep. Yeah. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you. Great weekend. Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend.
Oh, and really quick, as soon as this is over, I have this little song that I'm playing real quick. It's literally 20 seconds. And then we're sending you over to Daryl Eve's stream, which is starting right now, I think in like 2 minutes.
Perfect.
So get ready for that. And make sure before you go, I've got my Twitter link or my TikTok link at the very top of the screen. Make sure you head over there and follow me over on TikTok as well, because I'm talking about YouTube over there too. So have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Wheels.
Hit the sub button, hit the like button. If you're having fun, comment, type something. If you're laying back, leaning and engaged, just take a second to smash the whole page.